All right, I am now live on YouTube and Facebook. So everything is up and running now. Let's begin this walk. Again, currently here in the Maldives, it is 6:32, and we are on Gulhi Island, as you can see. I'll explain what this area is here in a moment. This area here is their sports facility on this specific island. Obviously, they're closed now. It's still early, but these guys have all of the sporting equipment you need when you are here on this island. They have jet skis, they have banana boat, they have surfboard, they have stand-up paddle. They have everything you need. So when you come here, you can enjoy the beach and use their equipment. Here you see some of their stand-up paddle. And they also have canoes as well that you can go out with. Normally at this time, at around 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, you'll have the locals. The locals will come out here and you will see them in the water. Then after that, they'll come back again in the evening. And the reason they do that is because this is really the only good beach here on Gulhi Island. It's not like other islands that have, beaches that go all the way around the island, and then they designate the Bikini Beach for visitors. And as I mentioned before, at around, I want to say at around 9 o'clock, you will start seeing people arriving at this island. They're coming from Mafushi, and then they come here for a day trip because if they know that this beach is a way better beach than Mafushi. And obviously you guys haven't seen Mafushi before, so you don't know what the beach looks like, but we will be there today. We're going to stream live when we're leaving this island. So I think our transfer arrives at around 4:20. So for you guys, that will probably be around, so 4:20 in the evening. For us, it'll be morning for you guys. No, it'll be evening for you guys. What am I saying? Yeah, it'll be evening. So we're going live from here to Mafushi. We're going to check into our hotel. I'm going to be walking you around Mafushi, and I'm going to be showing you the beach. It's going to be sunset time, so it's going to be really pretty. And you guys will be able to see what Mafushi looks like. We're only going to be in Mafushi for one day, because from there, we're going to Fulidu. That's another beautiful island. And we're going to be on Fulidu for about a week. The reason being is because Fulidu so far is not in our travel guide. And if we go to one of the 30 islands that we're going to be visiting, and it's not in our travel guide, and it's not a popular destination, then we need to stay there and we need to access all the hotels, which means we're going to be going into all the hotels on that specific island. We're going to go into all the restaurants on that specific island, the dive shops, the excursion shops. We're going into those islands and into those businesses, and we're going to be getting their information for our travel guide. So that's why we're going to be spending a week in those specific islands. Here on Gulhi Island, we already have the travel guide for this island, but what we knew is that new hotels have been built. So we came back to get their information, and we're also shooting basically like a promo, a teaser, like a commercial for this island for our travel guide. So when you click on our travel guide and you click Gulhi Island, there's going to be a video that's going to play, and it's basically going to say, welcome to Gulhi Island. It's going to give you a little bit of overview about what the island is about, and you'll see as you progress through the travel guide what it looks like. If you guys are interested in our travel guide and supporting us, our travel guide is on our website at www.livingtheglobe.com. So I'm sorry, livingtheglobe.net. That is our website, livingtheglobe.net. And so far, we have about 4 or 5 travel guides there as well. Digura is going to be the next travel guide we're going to be publishing. We have all the information. We're just working on putting everything together and packaging it so it's easy to understand and you get all the information you need when coming to these local islands. While we were here last night, it might get a little windy. I apologize for that. While we were here last night, we met a couple who they were leaving this island. They were waiting for their transfer at the harbor, and they stopped us and they're like, "Whoa, we saw your video on YouTube. That's why we're here." And they saw the video that we did on Digura. So they planned their trip for Mafushi and Digura, and then they found out about this island. So again, this is our 3rd time here in the Maldives, for those of you who are new here. The first time we came to the Maldives, my wife and I got married on a private island. That is the first time we found out about that local islands even exist. We didn't know that before. So once we found that out, we're like, man, we have to spread the word, because there's a serious lack of information that people can travel the Maldives on a budget for less than you would going to Miami, Florida for a weekend, going to Disney, going to Hawaii, going to Mexico. Forget about Mexico, because a lot of people in the US, they travel to Mexico for vacation. And if you don't know, Mexico is no longer affordable, not like what it was before. Mexico has their pricing has gone skyrocketed. I don't know if any one of you have been to Mexico recently in this chat, in this live. Hello, Sheila, how are you? But Mexico prices have risen like crazy, like almost comparable to US prices. So it's going to be no longer affordable to go to Mexico, because Mexico understand, hey, people from US, they're coming here. And I feel like they're taking advantage of tourism in Mexico, because they know so many people are coming there. Miami used to be a hot spot, but Miami is just a little bit too crazy now. Obviously, the prices in Miami, you're still in the US, so you're still spending US dollars there. So it's not that great of a place for you to escape. But when you go down to Mexico, yeah, it's not what it is. And forget about Tulum. Tulum is just crazy. As far as, yes, the hotels are beautiful in Tulum, but their prices. Before I go to Tulum, I come here to a private resort. Before I go to Tulum, because the beaches are way better here. The sea life is way better here. The accommodations are way better here. The hotels, the resorts, way better here. The service, way better here than Tulum. You can't even compare it. It's night and day. And you will spend less coming here than you would going to Tulum. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. But again, if you are new, we are here to prove to you that you can visit the Maldives and stay in beautiful hotels. I'm going to see if I can go into that hotel right there. That is Aimi Beach that you're seeing in the center there. It might be a little bit too early, but I'm going to go and see if I could check. If not, we'll have to circle back around and see if we could go into that hotel. I want to show you what the rooms look like. Morning. And again, I always try to let you guys know that whatever information we're giving you, you can rely on that information, because we are honest people. We're here to help you get the most out of your vacation. And we have receipts for everything. So in this area here, as you can see, the locals are now putting out their, they have like souvenirs. They'll have T-shirts and keychains and refrigerator magnets. It's still early. It is only 6:40 a.m. here, but all these stalls are going to have vendors. Right now, there's only about 3 or 4 vendors putting their stuff out, but they're getting ready because they know the tourists over from Mafushi is coming at 9 o'clock. So they're the ones that they're trying to sell their items to, because obviously there are tourists on this island as well. But they're here on the island, so they could go to their mall, and they stay open till around, I want to say, probably like 7 o'clock at night. So this hotel, Imi Hotel, I don't think anyone. Well, I see they're preparing breakfast. Breakfast should be starting roughly at 7 o'clock. Do you guys want to see what one of these rooms look like? Have you stayed in any bread and breakfast over there? If not, are you planning to show the view inside? Absolutely, Sheila. We've stayed in, all of these hotels are technically bed and breakfast, because every time you book any one of these hotels on local islands, you get breakfast. Breakfast is included. That's the crazy thing. If you guys want to see what this room looks like, definitely let me know in these hotels. And so I've been live streaming now since we've been in the Maldives. It's been about 5 days. So as I'm talking and I'm sending you guys around, I'm giving you information. What do we call hotels like this? Does anyone know who has been in our live streams? Hey, Deborah, how are you? What do we call the rooms in this type of hotels? There are different types of hotels on local islands. What do we call this type of a hotel? Does anyone know? Sheila mentioned on YouTube, because we are streaming live on YouTube simultaneously. Sheila says a luxury, but a luxury what? You're halfway there, Sheila. Affordable luxury. Yes, Cherry got it right. Which country? We're in the Maldives. Affordable luxury. Sheila, you're almost there. You're 50% of the way. So my wife and I call hotels like this affordable luxury. And for those of you who are new and don't understand the terminology, allow me to take 1 minute to explain exactly what it is. Here on local islands, there are different types of hotels. I will show you the two. For example, this one, you guys call it kind of more bed and breakfast. It's small. See, it's an inn. It's really small. Here at the front desk, you notice you don't see anyone here. You don't see anyone inside the lobby. Look. To go up to the rooms, you go there. There's also a room right there. So I want you guys to understand the difference. This hotel can cost you anywhere from $30 to $50. $30, 30 US dollars to 50 US dollars. This hotel can cost you, right? Now, the difference is between this hotel here and this one, obviously, huge difference. Look at the amount of rooms this hotel have. Look at the way it's designed. Look at the way it's built. Look at the way it's structured. Obviously, it's a much bigger hotel than this. Now, on all local islands, you will always find hotels like this one here. You will always find them because they're built by locals, right? So the stay is very affordable. It's super, super cheap, which means you can travel in the Maldives for as little as $15 a night in some of these hotels, and they're gonna look like this one that we're looking at right now. But for something like this, we've called this one affordable luxury. There's a difference also with the room. If you guys continue watching our video, you will see we will take you inside what one of these hotels will look like. We will show you the rooms. Now, mind you, just because you're spending anywhere from, say, $20 to $50 a night in a room at a place like this, Don't think that you're not getting value. You're getting value. Your bed is clean. It comes with with air conditioning. It comes with a ceiling fan. It comes with breakfast, but you're just getting a basic room and you're getting basic accommodations and basic service. I just showed you there's no one right there right now in the lobby. You can't call the front desk from your room because your room probably doesn't even have a phone in it. So you don't get that level of accommodation when you stay in a place like this. This is kind of like what we would call like backpackers. So backpackers will stay in places kind of like this because it's super, super, super affordable. Yes, very cheap rate. Very, very cheap rate. Thank you for coming back. Thank you. So again, if you want to be in the Maldives on a beach, beautiful beach like what we have here in Gulhi, and travel around, you can do it for as little, as $20 to $50 a night. Like where else are you gonna find something like that? And you're in the Maldives. This is the Maldives, my friend. This is the Maldives you guys probably heard about when you see overwater bungalows and seaplanes and beach villas. Just we're not on a private resort. We are on a local island. So you can do it on a budget, but you're still enjoying the Maldives. And it's all still the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle back around because I know breakfast starts in just a little bit here at this hotel. So I'm going to come back around when that's kind of happening. And then we're going to see if we can get access to one of the rooms. I was in that room on the top left-hand corner yesterday while we were filming. They had a room available and they allowed us to go into the room and film. We have covered this hotel in our travel guide. In our travel guide, 4 months ago when we were here, they gave us the opportunity to stay in this hotel. They have, I think, 3 room types, and we filmed all 3 room types so you could see what it looks like. So we've covered this hotel. Every single hotel that you will see on this island, we have gone into the hotel and filmed what it looks like. And that's information is all in our travel guide, along with a plethora of other information to make your travel here in the Maldives super affordable, super affordable. And we give you all the options. We just don't show you the fancy hotels. We just don't show you the super, super budget hotels. We show you everything. All these hotels we have been inside. Restaurants, for some people, they're like, okay, it's in the Maldives. What do they eat? I have dietary restrictions. How do I know I'm going to get the food I want? There's a restaurant here on the 2nd floor. We went up there, we scanned their menus. All the restaurants here we've gone into and we have their menu, and we show you what the menu look like. Morning. So this is currently the hotel that we're staying. It's called Ocean Pearl. So Sheila, as you were mentioning, and you want to know kind of like what it looks like for kind of like more of the budget style hotel, and this would be one of them here. When we arrived to the island, we were live streaming, but when we got to the room and we checked in, we had ended the live stream, so we weren't able to show you what the inside of the room looks like for a hotel like this. But we did film inside, and I'm not sure if Irina put out the TikTok yet on our TikTok feed, but if not, she's probably going to do that today. So you're going to see what our room looks like currently that we're in. Now, like I told you, it is a basic room. It is just a room with a bed, a small desk. That's all it is to that room. I believe we are paying $60 a night for that hotel. The hotel that I just showed you right now that we called affordable luxury. When I tell you the price per night at that hotel is going to blow your mind. As you can see, it's still kind of early here. This restaurant hasn't opened yet. It's called Benha Restaurant, and it's located in the Ayala Hotel. This is the Ayala Hotel. Again, what type of hotel is this? We call it affordable luxury. This is the type of hotel as us Americans, when we travel, this is the type of hotels we're used to. It has a balcony. It has a table on the balcony. There's 24-hour front desk. So if you need something, they're there to help you. Look at the way it's structured. It's a beautiful hotel. Look at that. Yeah, Sheila on YouTube comment, she said, so the most you would be paying for would be the flight and the transportation. Well, not even the transportation, Sheila. The most you're going to be paying for is the flight, and that's the flight out of the US. Someone made a very, very interesting observation and mentioned it in one of our live stream. I think it was like 3 months ago when we were here. He said, you know what I find funny? He said, what I find very interesting is that the United States, every time you have to take a flight leaving the United States, departing from the United States, it costs a lot of money. If you want to fly to Hawaii, it costs a lot of money. If you want to fly to the UK, it costs a lot of money. If you want to fly to Mexico, it costs a lot of money. If you want to fly to Canada, it costs a lot of money. That's insane. And then once you get out of that country, and this is the difference, right? Once you get out of the country, so for example, when you take a flight from the US to the UK, once you're in the UK, you could travel to all the neighboring countries dirt cheap for like $50 a flight. You could fly from, maybe somewhere within the UK, from Paris to somewhere else in the UK, and it will be in Europe, sorry, and it would be dirt cheap because you're out of the US. If you fly from out of United States to Mexico, and then you want to go to Belize, the flight is dirt cheap. You're already out of the country. So that's very interesting that to get out of the US costs a lot of money, but once you're out, you're able to travel around very inaffordably. My wife and I, while we were in Kuala Lumpur, over the last 2 months, we were in Kuala Lumpur. We spent 2 months in Kuala Lumpur. We found a flight from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to Singapore. And I've mentioned this in my live stream. I'm going to do the guessing game again. If you guys are new here, we do what's called a guessing game. And I always kind of bring out prices and tell you prices of different things. I want you guys to take a guess. While we were in Malaysia, we were in Kuala Lumpur. We spent 2 months there. We just left from there to come here to the Maldives. We found a flight from Malaysia to Singapore. How much do you think that flight cost? Start guessing. Some of you might probably know the price because you've been in our live streams long enough. How much do you think it is for a flight from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur to Singapore? Start guessing. $30, $20. Okay, here we go. Sheila says $40. Cherry says $30. How much do you guys think we found the flight for from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to Singapore? Cass says $25. Mike says $50. Handy says $100. I'll give you guys another 30 seconds to guess. The question is, how much is a flight from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur to Singapore? Nodela says 50. Dilich says 28. Shyam says 60. How far is the flight? The flight from Malaysia to Singapore, I want to say it's probably about 3 hours, 3 hours and a half. Oh, I think I remember now. There's a reason why I'm showing you this boat, by the way. I'm going to get into the reason why I'm showing you this boat. Okay, I'm going to tell you how much it cost. Crazy Dog says $1,500, $1,500. It depends on the airline you choose. Yes, that is true. But what we're talking about here is just generally speaking, what the cost that we found. Nigin said $20. Sheila switched it to $70. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys how much it cost that we found the flight for from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to Singapore. How are you guys hearing me on TikTok? Am I clear? Because I know the wind picks up a little bit and sometimes it could get very distorted. Are you guys hearing me clearly on TikTok? Clear. Okay, perfect. Super clear. All right, beautiful. So I don't have to plug my mic in. On YouTube, I have my mic plugged in. All right. So the cost that my wife and I found a flight from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to Singapore cost $14. $14. 1 4. 14 US dollars. Can you believe that? $14 from Singapore, from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur to Singapore. $14. At that point, might as well they give it to you for free. Exactly. It's amazing. But the thing is, right? That's kind of like my point. Like when you're outside the US and you're traveling, travels become so affordable. My wife and I are full-time travelers, if you guys don't know, who are new here. We travel full-time. I can't remember the last time we spent over $200 per person to travel anywhere to this point after we left New York City. And we moved to Hawaii for 3 years. We were living in Hawaii for 3 years. I can't remember the last time we spent over $200 for a flight. Everything has been below that. And that's highballing too. $200 is highballing. We've been in Southeast Asia now for pretty much, 2 years? We've been to Vietnam, Laos, Thailand. We lived in Thailand for 9 months. Kuala Lumpur. It's super affordable. Super affordable. Now, Sheila did mention, she said, back to the comment where she says, so the most you would have to pay would be flight and transportation. So the flight is going to be your biggest cost coming from the United States. Coming from the United States. And also time, right? Because flying from the United States to come to the Maldives, we did it coming from New York City. It was 22 hours. We left out of JFK Airport. We flew Etihad Airlines. We stopped over at Abu Dhabi. And then from Abu Dhabi, we came here to the Maldives. 22 hours. Mike says, how expensive is Thailand? That's actually the wrong way to phrase it, Mike. It's not how expensive is Thailand. It's just how affordable Thailand is. I mean, you could look up a plethora of videos on just how inexpensive Thailand is. When we lived in Thailand for 9 months, we were literally spending $14 a day for our Airbnb. Our Airbnb was located in a condo. The condo had, I believe it was like 16 floors. We had a 24-hour security. We had a gym. We had like a stretching room. We had 3 pools in that condo. We had a library. What else? I don't know. But the point is that it comes with all those amenities, right? And normally, if you notice, when it comes to condos and different things, that's how they get you with pricing. It's not about the accommodation where you're staying. It's not about the room where you're staying. They highball you on the fact that, listen, when you move into this condo, we have a 24-hour security guard. We have a gym for you. We have 2 pools for you. We have a library for you. We have this for you. We have a spa. We have a sauna. That's where they highball you. But for them, that's a one-time setup fee for the people who own that condo, right? When you build a condo, you're like, okay, let's put in a pool. Let's put in a library. Let's put in a spa. Let's put in a security booth and have someone stay there for 24 hours. But then when you go to purchase the condo or try to rent the condo, that's what they put in front of you. Oh, look, our condo is really cool because we're giving you a pool and we're giving you a jacuzzi and we're giving you 24-hour security and we're giving you this. And it's the bell and the whistles is what they sell you on. But the initial setup cost for that is nothing for them. That's a one-time thing. Once that's in place, they never have to worry about that again. But that's what they try to sell you on. So it's very inexpensive to answer your question in Thailand. Very inexpensive. Again, where we were staying in Pattaya, $14 a day. We are going back to Thailand again, and we'll probably be there for a couple years when we do go back to Thailand. We're going to be staying in Bangkok this time. Last time we stayed in Pattaya. Now we're going to stay in Bangkok, which is the capital. And currently, we can go back to Thailand at this very moment, and we could live in a condo that has maybe 60 floors with all the bells and the whistles. And when I say bells and whistles, I mean the pool, the jacuzzi, the infinity pool, a dining restaurant in it, all stores down at the bottom, laundry service, all the bells and all the whistles you can get. And I could stay in that condo for about $50 a night. $50 a night. So now, as you can see, this boat is pulling away. This boat is a ferry. You see it says Gulhi ferry. It is now, what time? 7 o'clock. It pulls out. It leaves. We're going to take one that's going to leave at around 4:20 this afternoon. That ferry costs about maybe $1.15 to travel on. $1.60 to travel on. Since we've gotten to the Maldives from the capital, which is Male, we took one of these ferries. It cost us $1.60 to come to 3 different islands. This island, Gulhi Island, is the first stop the ferry makes when it comes from the capital, Gulhi Island. From here, it travels around those private resorts that you see in the distance over there. It's about 15 minutes away. It stops at Mafushi. That is the island we're going to next. This is all for $1.60. That is the second stop it makes. The next stop it makes is Guraidu Island, which is the island we got off on when we first got here to the Maldives 5 days ago. This is our second island, Gulhi Island. Our third island today will be Mafushi. The fourth island will be Fulidu. That's where we're going next. So we're going to spend an overnight in Mafushi. Then from there, we're taking the ferry early in the morning. We're going to pay maybe $1.20. And then we're going to go to Fulidu. And the ferry travels. It took us to go from Male to Guraidu, which is the last island in this chain here that the ferry travel. It took us about an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. So here, if you're asking about the speedboats or the ferry, some of these are fishing boats, some of them are dive boats, some of them are speedboats. So I'm going to tell you the 3 ways to travel in the Maldives. Obviously, Maldives is a chain of islands. So boat is the way to go. Now, if you're coming to the Maldives and you're going to a private island, a private resort, where you're spending thousands of dollars a night, more than likely, you're going to be traveling on a seaplane. You're going to start seeing them flying overhead pretty soon because it's 7 o'clock. They should be already departing Male and picking up passengers and taking them to their private resorts. You're going to start seeing them flying over. Seaplanes. Seaplanes, when my wife and I got married here last year in the Maldives, the seaplane alone, the cost of the seaplane is not a package, my friends. When you purchase the private resort, they'll tell you, oh, you need to get a seaplane to come here. But the seaplane is a separate entity. You have to pay the seaplane fee separate. So it's not like you could be like, oh, but I'm coming to your resort. You're providing the seaplane for me, right? No, it is a separate entity. It is a separate business. So you have to pay the seaplane separately. My wife and I, to fly to Lux South Ari Atoll, we had to pay $400 each to fly on the seaplane. So that is a total of $800 for my wife and I to fly to Lux South Ari Atoll, which is the private island where we got married. And I'm looking down here to see if I see any stingrays, because there's normally stingrays over here. There's normally nurse sharks. So I'm just kind of looking around to see if I see any. They're massive too. That's the beautiful thing about the Maldives. The sea life is incredible. There's nothing compared to it. Nothing. Not Bahamas, not the Caribbean. Nothing compares to the Maldives. Not Philippines. And again, that's not to take anything away from those places I just mentioned, because those places have amazing sea life. Dolphins, turtles, stingrays, mantas. They have all that. But here in the Maldives, you will see, I will be walking along shore of the beach, and there will be a black-tip shark just swimming in the shallows. When I say shallows, look, there's a stingray right there as I talk about it. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a black shadow. You guys seeing it? I'm following it right now. It's fast, actually. You guys see the stingray? Let me know if you see it. You see the tail? Yep, that's a stingray. They're here all the time. But that's nothing. If you guys are new to this page, especially on TikTok, I highly recommend you follow us, because the information I'm going to show you, it's going to open up a whole new world for you. There's going to be times I'm going to be on the beach and I'm going to be surrounded by stingrays. I guarantee you, I will be in the water with you, streaming live, and there's going to be about 15 stingrays circling me. And I will be on my knees in the water, in the shallow, right on the edge of the beach, and I'm going to be surrounded by stingrays. They're going to be all around me. And I'm guaranteeing you that. So if that's something you want to see, make sure you follow, because I'm guaranteed to gonna show you. And I know it sounds weird, and I know it sounds like, how could he ever guarantee something like that? Well, trust me when I tell you. You guys that has been following us know that I have the receipts for everything. I don't lie. I'm transparent. And I understand these are sea creatures, right? You never know where they're going to be, if they're going to show up. So how could you ever guarantee anything like that? Well, trust me, you're going to see it. This is the Maldives, and this is what makes the Maldives special. And I understand that. This is our third time here. Third time in the Maldives. The first time we came here, we stayed a month. The second time we came back, which was just 4 months ago, we were in the Maldives. 4 months ago, we were in the Maldives. We were here for 2 months. Now we're back again for 3 months. 3 months is the longest you could stay in the Maldives as a tourist. These are the fishing boat that we're looking at here. Are there whales? Lisa, yes, there are whales. They're actually whale sharks. They're absolutely amazing. If you guys don't know what a whale shark is, I highly suggest you Google it. It is an amazing creature. And the reason, obviously, they call it a whale shark is because it has the size of a whale. It is behemoth. It is massive, but it looks like a shark. It's shaped like a shark, but it is completely harmless. It is completely harmless. It only eats plankton. It has a gaping mouth, but it doesn't have any teeth, and it only eats plankton. So it surfaces in the warmer water. It's actually, it lives in the deep. It lives deep in the ocean. But when you see a whale shark come to the surface, it's because it's feeding. It's looking for plankton. It opens its mouth and all the plankton goes inside of it. That's how it eats. And then it goes back down into the deep and it disappears. Here in the Maldives, there's so many whale sharks here. That is a major attraction for the Maldives. For people who come to the Maldives and they know, and they want to have a whale shark, swimming with a whale shark, free diving with a whale shark, diving with a whale shark, if that's on your bucket list, you will come to the Maldives. Now, there are other places you can see whale sharks as well. For example, Mexico, you could see whale sharks. Philippines, you could see whale shark. We were in Philippines for 2 months. And while we were in the Philippines, we were actually going to swim with the whale sharks. But what we didn't like about the Philippines is that in Philippines, they feed the whale sharks. So we didn't like that. It wasn't like a natural thing. So in the Philippines, if you really want the ultimate best chance to see a whale shark, the Philippines is where I personally would go, because I know they feed them. But if you don't want that experience where it's like, oh, I'm into nature, I'm into things being natural, I don't want to go there. I don't want to see them being fed. And that's why I'm able to see it. I want to see them in the wild. Then you want to come here to the Maldives, because in the Maldives, they pop up when they pop up. They feed when they feed. But the boats go out every single day and they know the area where they are and they go looking for them. And basically, we're talking about, 20, 30, 50 boats a day going out to see these whale sharks. And the moment one boat spots a whale shark, they call it into all the other boats, and all the other boats converge on that spot, and everyone jumps into the water and gets the opportunity to see the whale shark. Now, with that being said, a whale shark, obviously, it is right. You can't control it. You don't know what it's going to do. Many times we went to see the whale shark twice so far, and we've only seen it once. One time we went out, which was 3 months ago, to see the whale shark, and they kept reporting that they saw it. And by the time our boat we were on got to it, it went back down in the water into the ocean and it disappeared. Then it pops back up again somewhere else. They radio in. By the time we get there, sometimes it's 10, 15, 20 minutes away. By the time we get there, it's feeding at the surface, and then it goes back down and it disappears. So we didn't get to see it. But again, that's also a part of the whole thing, right? It's like you never guarantee to see it, but you know when you do see it, it's natural. No one is feeding it. It's not controlled. It's not penned in somewhere like a zoo. So there is a difference, and that's a part of the whole thing, you know? So here is where you would see that. It's beautiful. We've swum with stingrays. We've swam with mantas. Mantas are amazing. Nurse sharks. When we go to Mafushi, we're gonna stay in Mafushi for a week. We're going to swim with nurse sharks. I'm gonna see if I can take you guys out there to show you what that experience is like. But the nurse sharks are massive, massive. And speaking about nurse sharks, if you guys have been joining our live stream every single day, if you are new here, especially on TikTok, again, I highly suggest you follow us. We stream twice a day. Right now, as you can see, the sun just rose. It is now 7 a.m. I started this live stream at about 6:15. So now I've been live for about an hour. I do morning times. I do sunrise. My wife and I will then come back during the evening time, which for you will be morning. It'll be like maybe 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, depending on what country you live in. Wow, look at that bird chasing the fishes. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. There's like hundreds of fishes jumping out of the water, and the bird is like looking to feed, I guess. It's just circling. So here, right here at this location where I am standing, I'm not sure how many of you guys in this live feed right now have seen it. We have showed you here on Gulhi Island, this exact spot, at around 7 o'clock at night, there can be up to 20 nurse sharks right here. They go right here in this little crevice. They're all piled up right in this crevice we see here, all lined up. Sometimes stingrays. We saw 3 stingrays here the other night. The reason they come here is because of this. The fishermen. The fishermen go fishing. They come back in the evening time. They dock their boats here. And right here on this trough, they clean their fish. They gut the fish. They cut the heads off, the tails off. The scraps gets thrown right here in this area. Not only that, when they're cleaning the fish here, they wash it down with water. What happens is the water from the fish, so the blood, the guts, and everything from cleaning the fish gets wrenched down into this gutter. This blue gutter right here expels the water through this pipe and into the ocean. Right here is where all the nurse sharks are. They know it. They understand the feeding process, and they understand what time the fishermen come in. The blood from the fish, they smell it, and that's the reason why they line up right here. They wait for it. So they're technically waiting to be fed. They know they can get a free meal. So if you ever come to Gulhi Island, make sure you come here at around 7 o'clock. Every single night you are here, you are guaranteed to see nurse sharks, massive nurse sharks. Nurse sharks, again, we have swam with them. We have drone footage of us in the water with them. They are amazing. They're so muscular. It is incredible. Nurse sharks do have teeth, but the teeth on the nurse shark is super, super, super tiny. They're very tiny. And if you see the photo of a nurse shark, you will notice that their mouths is located at the bottom of their head. So they're mostly kind of like bottom feeders. They're not like your typical shark that the mouth opens up in front of its face. They're bottom feeders because their mouth is located below their face. So again, nurse sharks are harmless. Harmless to the point, obviously, you're not going to jump into the water with them and try to grab them and maybe ride on them or something like that. Because for any living thing, they have some type of defensive mechanism, and then they will use it because they feel threatened. Now, that's the same thing what happens to a stingray. A lot of people's like, I'm not getting in the water for stingrays there, right? And whenever I mention stingray, people start mentioning, you know, what happened to the Australian guy, Steve. I forgot what his name is, Steve something. I can't bring it right now. He got stung by a stingray and he died. I don't know what the situation was with that. I can't speak on it. But here in the Maldives, it is the most common thing. Every single day, they take tourists out, and literally, like I told you, you could be on the beach with water that comes up to your ankles, and you will be surrounded by stingray. And you take photos with them. Again, if the stingray does not feel threatened, if you're not like trying to grab it or trying to grab its tail or do something ridiculous, the stingray knows that it's just there. They know it's not going, that you're not trying to harm it, so they don't go into this like defensive mode. So it's really beautiful. And again, I will show you guys all that. You guys on TikTok, if you happen to miss, I did tell you that we stream twice a day. If you do happen to miss any of our live streams, I know on TikTok when we live stream, the moment I stop the live stream disappears like it never happened. Well, on YouTube and on Facebook, the live stream stays there. It gets uploaded to our YouTube and it gets uploaded to our Facebook instantly. So if you want to catch a replay on anything that you might have missed, because again, we're going to over 30 islands. We're going to be visiting over 30 local islands in the Maldives. And maybe if you guys support us and head over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Living the Globe, if we make 50,000 subscribers, we're going to take you to a private island. So if you want to know what a private island look like, it'd be awesome if you guys support us in that way, and it doesn't cost you anything. And again, we put out content there all the time. The content on our channel is super informative. And again, we're full-time travelers, so we've been to so many countries. And if you guys are looking to travel, our YouTube channel is very informational. We tell you how to get to these places, where to go to eat, you know, how to get around, where to stay, what are the best attractions. If we take any attractions or any excursions or anything when we travel, we document the full excursion. If we don't like it, we'll tell you we don't like it. We're very honest, we're very upfront. But not only will we tell you that we didn't like it, we will tell you why we didn't like it. A lot of people, they just said, oh, I don't like it. I don't like this place. I don't like this country. But they don't really state why. Like, what was your opinion? So we basically tell you exactly what it's like. So here, this is another hotel. It's called Aqua Sunset. Again, we have been into this hotel as well. We got video of all the rooms. Here, there's breakfast time. So you see the people who are staying in this hotel, you'll come out here and you'll have breakfast in the morning. And this is what their lobby looks like. Again, if you want to see what the rooms look like, then you would have to purchase our travel guide on livingtheglobe.net. If you are planning on coming to the Maldives, obviously. This is typical. You will see this on every single local island. This is like the Maldivian chairs. So basically, it's just a frame, a metal frame, rectangle, and they put a net in it, and then they string it up to a tree. And this is where they just hang out all day. Hello. Hello, how are you? The kids are amazing. The kids speak perfect English. The kids on local islands speaks better English than I speak, believe it or not. Now, as you find the older generation, like the older people on the island, they're kind of a little bit more difficult to speak, to communicate with. If you ask them a question, some of them might not be able to answer, or if you ask them the question, they won't even reply, and you think that maybe they're being rude or whatever, but they're not. It's just because they don't know how to communicate. But the people who do tour excursions, the people who do diving shops, the people who are in the restaurants, the people who are in the hotels that are working, the staff, they all speak English. And as a matter of fact, they're not all from the Maldives as well. There's a lot of people here from Sri Lanka. There's a lot of people here from Bangladesh. There's a lot of people here from what's the other country? From Spain that works here. There are Russians that work here. There are Germans that work here. There are French that works here. People from Spain, they work here. They own businesses here on these local islands. They own dive shops. So again, don't think that if you come to the Maldives, you can't communicate. They speak English. And I didn't realize, since we've been traveling as full-time travelers, I didn't realize how many countries actually speaks English. I think even Vietnam, when we went to Vietnam, I was so, wait, not even Vietnam, Cambodia. My wife and I went to Cambodia, and I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a little bit difficult. It's going to be challenging, you know, talking to people in Cambodia, because I'm sure they don't speak English. People in Cambodia speaks perfect English. That was a mind blown for us. We were just like, what? We were getting in taxis. We were going on different excursions, going to see different ruins in Cambodia. Everyone spoke perfect English. So English, not for nothing, I can safely say is the second language of the world. Especially when it comes for younger kids, they start teaching them in school, right? Because English is such a common language. Billionaire says, go back. Go back where? I don't know, maybe if I missed your comment before, but you say go back. I'm not sure if you wanted to see something. So this is a playground. This is all new. We were here on this island 4 months ago. This was not here. There was a playground here. The structure was here. But the way it's laid out, the concrete, the sand, the way they lay it out is new. All of the equipment you see here, the slides, the horses, all of this, the swings, all of this is brand new. 4 months ago, this was not here. There was a playground here and there was equipment for the kids to play on, but it was very outdated, very old, very rusty. So they brought a whole new system in here and built this for the kids. That's another thing. Every local island you go to is different than the other. Different vibes. We just came from Guraidu. I showed you guys what Guraidu looks like. Here on Gulhi Island, kids, you will see so many kids on this island. When we live stream in the evening time, when we come back live at 4:30 in the evening, you will see hundreds of kids out here. For some reason, this island has a lot of kids. So it's really cool to see. Over here, this is new. This is a kind of workout, you know, for the older people. They come here. They have this a lot in Southeast Asia. This is their gym. You come here, you sit on these things and you work out. They have it works out different types of parts of the body. So it's kind of like an outdoor gym thing. This is new. This was not here. You could tell it's freshly made concrete. You could tell it's not worn. This is new. 4 months ago, this was not here. This hotel. So you see how fast things gets built in the Maldives. 4 months. And there's already massive changes. There's another hotel straight ahead being built. There's 2 more back there being built. So if I was to come back here 4 months from now, it'll be brand new hotels. Which brings me to the point of when my wife and I decided to create a budget travel guide to the Maldives, we noticed we're not the first one to come up with that idea. If you Google Maldives budget travel guide, you will see a lot of people selling budget guides on Etsy. They sell it on their personal website. Backpackers, they come to the Maldives. They experience Maldives for about a week. They experience like 3-4 islands. They create a budget guide on how to travel. They're like, oh, I stayed in a hotel for $15. You can do the same. Purchase my travel guide, right? They create it also. They have it. Well, here's the difference between our travel guide and their travel guides. Number one, the most apparent difference is that their travel guide is a PDF. So you download a PDF. Yes, you have to purchase it from them. Yes, you have to purchase it from us as well. There is a cost. But it saves you time because we've done the research for you. It saves you money, and I'll tell you how. And when you buy their travel guides, 99% of the travel guides you will see out there is a PDF. So the way it works is when you purchase the travel guide, you download the PDF. And when you open it up, it might be 10 pages, it might be 30 pages, it might be 80 pages of information. We decided not to do that. We decided not to make our travel guide a PDF. Number one, because if we did it, it would be over probably 400 or 500 pages. And who has the time to go through 4 or 5 pages of information? It's like reading a book, right? That's a lot of information to digest that way. So what we decided to do is we have our website, livingtheglobe.net. On our website, you will find our travel guides. Our travel guides live on our website. And what that does is that allows us to update and control our travel guide. So for example, when we came to Gulhi Island that you're seeing right now, 4 months ago, this hotel did not exist that you see in front of me. The couple hotels in the back that we're going to while we're here, they did not exist 4 months ago when we were here. So what that does when we're able to control it and it lives on our website is that we get to go in and update it. That is the major difference between our travel guide and many other people's travel guide that use a PDF. When you purchase a PDF, it is a written document that cannot be altered. You can't update the PDF. So it's a one done thing. It's like, I made it, it exists, that's it, it's done. So the moment you purchase someone's PDF, that PDF can already be outdated. So if you came across someone, generally speaking, about the Maldives, and it's a Maldives budget guide, you're like, oh, that's cool. I want to travel to the Maldives and I want to travel on a budget. And you purchase that person's travel guide, depending on when they created that travel guide is already outdated. And I've proven it to you because, like I said, 4 months ago, this big ass hotel in front of us did not exist. So if the country is developing rapidly, the travel guide gets outdated super fast. And now, when you're looking to make the best decision based on your budget and based on how you want to stay and experience an island, if you purchase a budget guide via PDF on Gulhi Island a year ago, and now you're looking to come to the Maldives, well, you're super outdated because since then, there's already been like probably 10, 12 hotels that's been built that you don't know about that could have actually suit your budget much better, or maybe suit the accommodation the way you like to travel, as far as the room, the way the room looks. Maybe you want something more modern, more updated, better service, because everything is getting better. They're putting better people in these positions. They know how to deal with tourists. You understand? So it's outdated. So by us putting our travel guide on a website, we can stay on top of it. We have connections with a lot of people, the people that own these hotels, we now have their contacts. The people who own the speedboats, we have their contacts. The Maldivian people are amazing. They reach out to us. You guys saw it. If you've been in our live stream, we were just on Guraidu Island a few days ago. While we were live streaming, the owner from one of the local restaurants there reached out to us and said, hey, we would love to have you in our restaurant. Would you like to join us for dinner? They literally invited us to dinner at their restaurant. Like, that's how they are here. They're very accommodating. They're really nice people. So we have, number one, in our travel guide, we have a lot of connections. Boat operators. For example, if you're trying to do a tour, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe you don't like going on a tour with 20 people. Maybe you came with your family of 3, of 4, of 5, and you don't want to be on a boat with 20 other people. You can rent a speedboat and go. But depending on who you rent it from, number one, you have to know who to rent it from. You have to know who that speedboat belongs to. You have to know if that person even will allow you to use their speedboat to go out on a private tour. But that's what we have done because we've been here for so long already. We've developed business relationships with a lot of people that own these vessels. So they tell us, they say, hey, listen, if you guys have people coming from the United States or wherever they're seeing and they're getting your information from, and they're coming to this island and they want to go on an excursion, they can go on my speedboat and I will charge them $25. $25 for you to go swim with dolphins or swim with turtles or swim with mantas or swim with stingrays or just go out and snorkel in the middle of the ocean. They have like gardens out there where the coral is just amazing and you feel like you're being dunked into a fish tank of tropical fishes. It's the connections we have made. So when you purchase our travel guide, not only are you going to get updated information, which is super key, two, you're going to get our personal contacts. All these hotel owners that we know, you're going to get their contacts if you need to reach out to them for anything, or if you have any additional questions or any additional requests, you could reach out to them and ask them. Three, and probably the most important one, you get discounts. So we're working with these big hotels. And when I say working, I'll tell you what the process is. The process is really simple. When we walk into these hotels, again, my wife and I are not travel agents. We're not trying to curate a vacation for you. We're trying to give you so much information that you are able to make your own decision that not even a travel agent can tell you. Because travel agents sometimes don't come out here. They're behind their computers. They're doing what you don't want to do. You don't want to be behind your computer, tapping your keys, searching, and it leads to a dead end because you don't know how to search. You have to know how to search. Travel agents, that's what they do. So literally when you're booking through a travel agent, you're paying them to do something you don't want to do, which is to search and find you the best rates, right? That's what a travel agent does at the end of the day. We're not travel agents, but we're going to get you the best rates. Why? Because we're giving you all the information. It's all going to be in front of you. You just have to open it and it's all there. We show you video. When we go into these hotels, my friend, we video what the rooms look like. I'm going to be taking you on this. Matter of fact, you know what? See, you guys got me all worked up. We're going to go to this hotel and I'm going to show you the process of our travel guide. I'm going to show you just how detailed it is. And it's detailed because, again, we're full-time travelers. We're from the United States. We're in the same demographic, right? Americans, when we travel, we expect things to be a certain way. Yes or no? Disagree with me if you want. But as Americans, when we travel, we expect things to be a certain way. And when it's not that way, sometimes it could be a problem. But I know the expectations of Americans. I'm not pitching to Indians. I'm not pitching to Chinese. I don't know what their expectations are when they travel. I'm not Chinese. I'm not Indian. I don't know what the level of comfort is for them. I don't know if they don't mind sleeping on a floor for $10 a night. But I do know the expectations of Americans. And that's the demographic that we are serving. So what I'm about to do right now, I'm about to take you to this hotel. And I'm going to take you inside of a room. Hopefully the room is available. We'll find out right now. How you doing? We're going to go in there and I'm going to show you how we take you around the room and the information that we give you. So when I get inside that room, when you hear me speak, it is the same exact way you'll hear me speak in the travel guide when we take you through every single hotel that we've gone to. And guys, it's every island we have visited. We have gone through every single hotel on that island. It's not like we pick the best ones. We literally take you to every single hotel. Morning. All right, so let's see if we could go in here. As you can see, they opened up the doors now. Again, this is IME Hotel. Let me show you the outside so you guys know. I know some of you might have just joined. So this is the hotel. As you can see, there's someone on the balcony on the top floor. They're taking photos. It's beautiful up there. I'm going to take you to the roof so you could see the type of view you get. And again, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Let's see if you're paying attention. What do we call a hotel that looks like this? What's the term we use when we see hotels that look like this? Anybody? Affordable luxury. There we are. Calf said it. Affordable luxury. This is an affordable luxury hotel. I will show you why. And wait, when I tell you the price for staying here, you're going to flip out. You're not going to believe me. But again, I have receipts for everything. I can prove anything for you. If there's any naysayers, you're going to learn. Morning. How you doing? So as you can see, this is the lobby area. This is where you will have breakfast when you are staying at this hotel. You come down here in the morning. As you can see, they're already setting things up. What time does breakfast start? Excuse me? What time does breakfast start? 7:30 to 9:30. So breakfast in this particular hotel, they're different for every hotel. This one starts at 7:30 to 9:30. So for 2 hours. Normally that's how long breakfast usually is. Sometimes it's from 7 to 9, sometimes it's from 8 to 10, but it's usually a 2 hour window. Here it's a buffet style if there is enough people in the hotel. If there's not a lot of people in the hotel, you can order your breakfast a la carte. They have continental breakfast and they have Maldivian breakfast. So if you want to know what a Maldivian breakfast tastes like, you can order it and they'll get it for you. Continental breakfast, you get fruits, you get toast, you get eggs, you get sausages. Some hotels will give you waffles. Some will give you French toast. Some will give you pancakes. Different hotels give you different things, but just know when you do stay in these hotels, you will get continental breakfast. If you're not used to, you're traveling abroad, you might think, oh, I don't know what's there to eat. But I'll also show you regular restaurants as well. Hi there. So I have a question. Yesterday I came by here and I spoke to the young lady. She gave us access to one of the rooms. We were here 3 months ago and we filmed this hotel and we put it on YouTube. We know the owner very well. Would you happen to have any rooms? Right now, I'm currently live on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Do you have any rooms that we can go upstairs? I would like to show them what the rooms look like.
Now room is already.
All the rooms are booked?
Yeah.
Wow, we just missed it because yesterday when I was here, we went upstairs to room 4 on the end, the one with the balcony. Yeah, and they were waiting for someone. So the people who booked that room, they already came up. So right now, all your rooms are booked. All the rooms are booked. Wow. Yeah. So I came a little bit too late. I wanted to show you what the rooms look like here. They're absolutely beautiful. But if you watch our TikTok videos, if you watch our TikTok streams, we filmed the hotel yesterday. We filmed that hotel up in the... Actually, let me take you guys to the roof. I'm going to show you what the roof looks like, and I'm going to show you what it looks like from that area. I could take the steps up to the roof, right? If I take the elevator, it'll cut off. All right. So I'll take you guys upstairs. It might get a little dark here. I hope the reception doesn't cut off, but I'm going to make my way up to the roof. Give me 1 second, guys. One moment while I snake my way to the roof. Oh, I still got 2 more floors. What floor is this? 4th. This is the 5th. Ooh. 1 more floor. It's my daily workout. Whew. All right, I'm here. Whew. Okay, 1 moment while I catch my breath. Whew. This is the island from the roof. There's 1 more floor to go up. That's the top floor. Now on this floor, as you can see, there are tables. So basically, in the evening time, if you wanted to do a dinner up on this roof, you can. In the distance, I don't know if you guys can see it, but on the horizon, that is Male. It's very tiny. You have to look really close. Let me see if I can zoom in on TikTok. I'm gonna try zooming in. There it is. You guys see that on TikTok? Sorry for the shakiness, it's because I'm zooming in. And I just came up 5 flights of stairs. That island is Male. That is one of the most densely populated islands in the world. There are so many people living on that island. It is hustle, it is bustle. We took you there. I just released a video on our YouTube channel of what that island is like. It is massive. The tallest building you see on that island is the hospital. It is a massive city for just a tiny island. If you want to see what it looks like, head over to our YouTube channel, Living the Globe. It is the newest, the latest video we just published. I published it last night before I went to sleep. And I walked you around. And we went to the fish market there, and we went to the fruit market there. And towards the end of the video, I have a surprise for you. It's going to blow your mind. Right over there at that island. So whenever you get a chance, check that video out. It's called like the walking tour of Male. That's the name of the city, Male. It's spelled male, M-A-L-E, but there's that little thing above the E that changes it from E to E, so it's Male. Let's go up one more floor to the actual top. Up here, they could do different things. It's just space. They sometimes do yoga here. Like if you're a yoga instructor and you have students that's been coming to you all the time and you wanted to maybe plan a retreat, you come here to the Maldives and you could bring your students and you could have yoga here in the morning. Like how amazing is that? All you yogis out there. And they do that. There's many of retreats that come to the Maldives. Many yoga retreats come to the Maldives to do it. And I will show you that when we go to different islands. We were just over there in the corner. That's the harbor. As you can see, the kids' playground is there. We were just there. But look how tiny this island is. That's it. And I love it because it's this small. There are many bigger islands. There are going to be islands, my friends, that we're going to go to that I'm going to have to take you on a tour on a bicycle because the island is that big. I can walk it, but for me to take you around and show you different things, it's more efficient if the island is much bigger. I could take a bicycle and get to where I need to get to much faster than me walking. So a boat, as you can see, just pulled up in the harbor. Now, this hotel, the roof that I'm standing on, was the largest hotel 4 months ago when my wife and I came here. Again, we stayed at this hotel. We know what the rooms look like. We know the owner. We spoke to the owner when we arrived here. And he's offering a discount if you want to stay at this hotel. And we have it all in our travel guide. So again, it's building the relationships, right? That's what it's all about. When we come to the Maldives, we're not being sponsored. We're not travel agents where they're like, oh, you're a travel agent. Come stay, stay here for a week and do what you do. And it's complimentary. Sometimes we do get complimentary hotels. Again, I'm totally transparent. When we went to Gulhi, the island is right in the back behind that, where that antenna is. It's behind it 3 islands. We were invited to that island. For those of you who are just joining this live stream and don't really know much about what we're doing here, look, another hotel being built right there. These hotels spring up so fast. Another one there in the distance, in the center of the screen, that's being built. 2 more back there, 3 more back there is being built. So you see how fast things get built and how fast things move on these little local islands. So when we went to Gulhi 4 days ago, they allowed us to stay in that hotel for free. We didn't have to pay. When we went to Male, we met the owner. He set up a business meeting with us. We went to see him, and he basically told us, we really appreciate what you guys are doing, meaning my wife and I. Again, we've been in the Maldives. This is our 3rd time to the Maldives, and we've created over 70 videos on the Maldives. So at the end of the day, we're saturating the market with information. If you go to our YouTube channel, we have a Maldives playlist, private islands and local islands. So if you're really interested in the Maldives, you don't need to look no further than our YouTube channel because we're super in-depth. We don't leave things out. We're not the type of people who create content that say, hey guys, Look at us. Look at what we're doing. Look at the life we're living. We're not that type of content creators. We're the type of content creators that's going to create content. So when you watch, you have something to take away. You were like, wow, I watched that video of them. I had no idea that existed. Or I had no idea that was that affordable. Or I had no idea that that was even there and it was possible. That's the type of content you're going to get from us. From our first video on YouTube in Tulum, Mexico. That was our first video. I'm sorry, Playa del Carmen, Mexico. The first video we ever published on our YouTube channel was how much things cost at a Costco in Mexico. We went into a Costco and we went grocery shopping because we lived in Playa del Carmen for, I want to say, maybe 3 months. So we went grocery shopping because we booked like a condo and we went grocery shopping. And we showed you the cost of what groceries are. We do that all the time. Whenever we go around the world, anywhere we go into supermarkets and we do groceries and show you what things cost. As you can see, there's a massive airline flying up ahead. That's going to be landing in Male. So that's going to that same island I just zoomed in on over there. That's where that's going. But look at this beach. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, do you guys see that island over there? It looks like a sandbank, right? You guys see it? Let me know if you see it. It's in the center of the screen. It looks like a giant sandbank. Let me know if you see it. All right, perfect. You guys see it. Now, when we were here 4 months ago, that did not exist, my friends. It was ocean out there. In 4 months, they dredged and they created an island. That is an island they are building there. That island is going to be kind of like Male, like what I just zoomed in on with those massive buildings. They are building a massive island here, which means in about 2026, 2027, if I was to be standing at this location right here in the next 3 years, you will see a metropolis right here in the middle of the ocean on that island. Can you believe that? It will look like the island I just zoomed in on over there with the massive, like 60-story hospital. It will look like that here on this island. And I'm sure this island, what you're seeing right now, is going to get much bigger than that. Much, much, much bigger. They're building islands in the middle of the ocean, my friends, as we speak. As we speak, they're building islands and resorts in the Maldives. Which goes back to what I'm saying before. Yes, that's sad. Cherry, great, great, great observation. So when we were told this, because when we saw the sandbank out there, we're like, oh, snap, look, it's a sandbank. But for us, it looks like a sandbank when you're on the beach because you can't see it from above like this. But when we came up here to film yesterday and we noticed from the top view, we were like, oh, wow, it goes all the way out. That's not a sandbank. That looks like something that's under construction. So we went downstairs, we spoke to one of the owners of the hotel, and he said, yes, the president, that's the current president here in the Maldives, chose to build a city, a metropolis in the middle of the sea right there. So what's going to happen now? Look how close this beautiful, tiny, look, 360, this island here. I don't know how many people live on this island. If I had to take a guess, I'm going to even highball it. I'm going to say about maybe 5,000 people live on this island. And that's a highball. Because I'm sure it's probably maybe about 3,000 people that live on this island, if that. But look how tiny this island is. And it's so beautiful and so pristine. And then you look, boom, a metropolis is being built right in front of the beach. Talk about an eyesore, right? You come here to this island and maybe you came a few years ago and you happen to come back and now all of a sudden you come to the beach and when you look out into the ocean, you see a metropolis. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when I lived in New York, right? There are a lot of times, people who are wealthy, they live in these high-rise buildings down in Wall Street area or, certain areas in Manhattan. I've been in friends' homes that are wealthy. And when we go up on his terrace or on his roof deck, unobstructed view of New Jersey, absolutely beautiful. Fast forward a few years later, they build right in front of his building and they completely block his view of what he had that was so beautiful. And now he has no view, which means his property value, because he owns that apartment, he bought it, the property value just plummeted because you could sell people on a view. That's what people want, right? We all want a beautiful view. Well, how are you going to sell a view now if you're looking at your neighbor's apartment? And that wasn't the way it was when you bought that complex or when you bought that apartment. So it's kind of the same thing here. You have this beautiful, pristine beach. Look, it even has a little sandbank. You guys see the little sandbank leading out to the sign? It's beautiful. The water is shallow. You can walk all the way out and water's still at your waist. Now, fast forward 3 years from now, this will not be here. As a matter of fact, I would not be surprised if they start building towards this island and change this whole entire island completely and build it out into a city. Because I don't understand how they could be this close and build a city that close to this island without tampering this island. I really don't see it. So maybe they're starting there. They're going to start the construction and slowly they're going to start moving towards this island. They're going to demolish all of this and then it's going to turn into bigger buildings. Now, what does that mean for the locals? Well, when I spoke to the locals about it, they were like, yeah, it's sad that, this is what it's come to. But she said, in a way, it might be better for us because now instead of us living in small houses like this, as you could see, the roof of these small homes, these are people's homes. These are the local homes. They live here. So for them, what does this mean? Well, they don't know, right? They can't see the future. They don't know what they're having plans to do. But who knows? Maybe if they start building towards this island, they demolish this island. Now they start building homes, buildings that are like maybe 15, 20 stories. Now, instead of the locals living in small little homes like this, they're now living in a high-rise building, which they never thought they would have ever been able to do. But because the government wants to build, then they get it. And of course, they're going to get it at a special rate because they're locals. They're not just going to leave them and hang them out to dry, which it happens sometimes, but I don't think that's how it is in the Maldives. So it's amazing. It's amazing to see change happens. And again, sometimes change happens for the good and change happens for the bad. It really depends. And I wish I could have showed you the room in this hotel. I'm going to try again later in the evening before we leave. Because remember, our boat, our ferry, leaving. Oh, that's a ferry right there in the harbor. You guys see that blue boat? That's the way the ferry looks like. That's the exact ferry that left Mali. And now it just arrived. And it'll only be there for about 2 minutes and it leaves. That ferry is in and out. So my suggestion to you, if you know anyone coming to the Maldives and they travel locally using ferries and not speedboats, make sure you're at the harbor because that boat will leave you. It's in and it's out really quickly. Passengers get off, passengers get on, and they're gone. It's a quick turnaround. As you can see, the engines are still running. You can see the water from behind the boat there. So there's Mafushi in the distance. That is one of the most popular islands. That's the island we're going to be going to. Again, it's only 15 minutes away. I will be live streaming when I'm on that blue boat. I'll be live streaming the whole way as we make it over to the next island. Hey, Brenda, how are you? Thank you for joining. It is sunset here in the Maldives. It is 7:55. 7:55. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get you guys into another hotel. I want you guys to see the different hotels, the different styles of accommodation. Look, the ferry's leaving. You guys see it? Look, it's behind that green tree. You see how quickly it came in and how quickly it left? When I showed you the ferry was there, it had just pulled up. It's already pulling away now. Let me see if I can stand over here. Yeah, it's making kind of like a U-turn to come out of the harbor. Do you see how quick that happens? It's no joke. That ferry will cost you $1.60 or $1.20, depending on what island to what island you're going to. And I think it goes up as far as maybe $2.50, maybe $3 is the most you'll pay. Most you'll pay on that ferry. and it gets you to islands that are hours away. So you could travel from island to island on a budget. It's not all about the seaplanes that cost you hundreds of dollars. You just have to get the information. That's all it is. As I say it all the time in my live stream, information is power. We all know this. So with our travel guide, that's what we do. We give you the information so you can make the proper decision and the most accurate decision on where you want to stay, where you want to eat, what you want to do, and who you want to do it with, and save money all at the same time. What I'm thinking about doing is starting kind of like a Maldives Chronicles. So basically, what I was thinking about yesterday, it crossed my mind. I'm going to start going around on all the islands that I'm on. And whenever I see a tourist, I'm going to approach them and I'm going to start asking them questions. And I'm going to say, kind of like, start off, like, what's your name? What country are you visiting from? Is this your first time in the Maldives? What do you like about the Maldives? What do you think about traveling to local islands on the Maldives? How affordable do you feel it is? How did you find out about the Maldives? Because again, these are local islands, guys. If you don't know the name Gulhi, would you ever type that into Google? You would never type that into Google because you don't even know the name. So how would you know it even exists? You understand what I'm trying to tell you? The only thing people that want to visit Maldives or something like that, they will type in Maldives, and God forbid you do that, because if you type in Maldives in your Google search, they will show you all the 5-star resorts and the seaplanes and the overwater bungalow. They will show you all of that, and then you get the impression like, oh man, I could never afford the Maldives. Yeah, never mind. And you exit the page. You might say, wow, it's beautiful, it's a dream destination, but I could never afford to be here. My wife and I are here for 3 months, guys. 3 months. We are here on a budget. We're spending as low as $60 to $80 a night on hotels, including breakfast. We are going out into the ocean, swimming with nurse sharks, swimming with whale sharks, swimming with mantas, stingrays, turtles, dolphins, parasailing, jet skiing. You name it, you can do it here. And for like $35, $50, $60 to do these activities. How could you ever beat that? Tell me where you can go. Not even Mexico. You can go on an excursion for like $50, $35. And I'm giving you these prices and you might think, I don't know about that. When we go on Mafushi, which is the next island, I'm going to walk. There's an entire strip of vendors that take you out into the ocean to do excursions. We're going to look at the cost. They have billboards where you can see the price of everything. It's transparent. No one is trying to pull the wool over your eyes here in the Maldives. Again, like a lot of other places, you have to watch out for scams, right? You have to watch out for scams. You have to watch out for people trying to get over on you. Here in the Maldives, it's not like that. It's not like that. The price is the price. You can ask around. You can go from vendor to vendor to vendor to vendor. How much is it for a half-a-day tour to go swim with dolphins, to go see turtles, to go to a sandbank, and to go swim with nurse sharks, all within a half a day? They will tell you $45. You go to the next venue, $45. You go to the next vendor, $45. They're not trying to cutthroat each other. They're not trying to undercut each other. That's what it costs. If you go with a family, sometimes they'll even tell you, oh, since you're coming with a group of 5 or 6 or more, we're going to take off $5 or we're going to take off $10. They'll do that, but that's at their discretion. They're not trying to undercut the next vendor. You understand? They're just trying to give you a good deal because you're coming with a lot of people, right? So they're making their money, but you got to understand that's just the way of life. So it's absolutely beautiful here. I'm going to now go downstairs and I'm going to walk you guys onto the beach. Wow, look at the sandbank right there. It's a thin strip. From up here, I'm looking to see if I see any type of... Here, you don't really see no nurse sharks at the beach. Only that area that I just showed you will you see nurse sharks and stingray, and that's by the harbor. Here on the beach, you don't see it. If I was on Digura, I could look down in the water from here and I'll see some black tip sharks, baby sharks. Have you guys ever seen a baby shark before? I've never seen a baby shark until I came to the Maldives. And obviously they exist, right? Because there's big sharks. So they grow to that size, but I've never seen a baby shark. Only here in the Maldives have I seen baby sharks. And my friends, as I stand here talking to you at the moment, I guarantee I'm going to show you baby sharks. You're going to see a live baby shark. I'm going to show you, guaranteed. So that's two things I'm guaranteeing already. The time is now 8 o'clock here in the morning. Oops, a little blurry there. The sun just rise. Is that Guraidu? No, we're not in Guraidu. We left Guraidu. We are now in Gulhi Island. This is Gulhi Island. This is their bikini beach here that we're looking at. As you can see, that sign in the water, it says "I love Gulhi" on a surfboard, and there's a swing in the water. But you see how shallow the water is? Irina went for a swim yesterday at around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. I was at home. I was working. But it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the ferry that just left. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, you guys see that blue ferry right there? That's the ferry that just left this harbor. And you see the direction it's going? It's going left to right, which means it's going to Male. It's going to the capital. Once it gets to Male, it's going to pick up passengers and it's going to start its daily route. Its daily route is it's going to come back here to Gulhi Island. From Gulhi Island, it's going to go to Mafushi in the distance there. Then from Mafushi, it's going to go to Guraidu. So you could literally do that circuit. If you wanted to come here to the Maldives, you could literally do 3 islands and pay $1.60 to get from island to island. So you could literally knock out 3 local islands in one trip. And it's going to cost you under $5. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is insane. Here you have some guys on top of the roof. They're doing some construction. That building, well, what they're doing there, you guys see the construction right here? They're expanding that hotel. So I could see it already has a bottom floor. So maybe it only had like 4 or 5 rooms. So now they're building upward because they no longer can build out because the island is so tiny. So they have to build up. So they're adding more floors to that hotel. And that's probably going to be ready in a few months. Same thing with this white one right in front of us. Do you notice the bottom 2 floors? It has curtains. There's a window there. So there's someone staying in that hotel. But because they can't build outward, they build up. So look, they're adding 3 more floors. So that's what they do. As they make more money, the locals, they start building and expanding, but they could only expand upward. So that's what they do. Oh, so enjoying my stay here. Again, my wife and I say it all the time. Maldives is our happy place. Oh, wow. Look, the locals just got on a boat on the beach and they're heading out. Maybe they're going fishing. Not sure. And there you see the local ferry chugging its way to Male. Now, one thing you want to know about the local ferry, let me point it out to you really quick. The local ferry moves slow. Think of it like think of it like a school bus, right? It's big, it's clunky, it's slow. Then you have the speedboat, which we're looking at right here in the middle of the screen. You see that white streak? That's a speedboat. It has 4 motors on the back, and that thing flies. So, for example, the way it works, from Gulhi Island, from this harbor right here that we're looking at, to Male, the capital of the Maldives in the distance, that ferry is probably going to take about 40 minutes to get there. If you took a speedboat, like that little boat we're seeing right there, that can get to Male within like maybe 20 minutes. 20 minutes, you're in Male with a speedboat. So it's almost double the speed, if not triple the speed of a regular, one of the boats there, the ferries. The ferries move so slow, but it's cost effective. So if your thing is like, yeah, I don't want to take a $45 speedboat when I can take a $1.60 ferry, hey, to each his own, right? But if $45 for you is a drop in the bucket for you to get to someplace faster, then you do it. We've done it before. We've taken speedboats because there's some islands that you travel to. If you take a local ferry, it could take you up to 6 hours to get there. But by speedboat, you cut that time in half. So it all depends on how fast you want to get to the next island. This is a restaurant we're looking at right here in the center of the screen. We've eaten at that restaurant. That restaurant's really nice. As you can see, it has 2 floors. My wife should be awake anytime soon, and I'll know when she's awake because she'll jump into the chat. Look at the locals going out on the boat. What happened yesterday evening? So yesterday, as we mentioned before, we usually, wow, that speedboat has already caught up to the local ferry. We just saw that speedboat over here. This is where I showed you the speedboat. Look at where it's at right now. It already caught up to the ferry. That's how fast that speedboat is. And it's literally under like a minute and a half. Look, it already passed the ferry. That's how fast the speedboat is. It's really fast. So as I mentioned, we stream twice a day. Yesterday, we did not stream in the evening. Ali is pointing that out on YouTube. We didn't stream live because we had a lot of work to catch up on. Yesterday, the sun came out pretty late in the day. So that's when we really started filming for our travel guide. And we didn't have much time. So instead of going and streaming live, because normally when we stream for sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours. We've already been streaming for an hour and a half. Actually, more than that. We've been streaming for about 2 hours now. And we use the time to go around and get the information we need to get for the travel guide. So we did not stream yesterday evening. But we will be streaming this evening because we're leaving this island at about 4:20 our time and heading over to Mafushi. So when we get to Mafushi, that's when we're going to show you what that island looks like. But we're only staying on that island for one night, and we're leaving early in the morning to go to Fulidu. That is our next island. I really don't count Mafushi as our next island because we're only going to be there overnight. But we are going back there for an entire week because there's a lot of new things that has been built on Mafushi that's not in our travel guide that we need to cover. And also when we were here 2 months last time, we couldn't really get everything because of availability. So we're going back there again to complete what we started. So I'm gonna head downstairs now. I'm gonna take the stairs. It's gonna get a little dark until I get downstairs, but I don't want to take the elevator. This building that we're on, this roof deck, is the only building on this island that has an elevator. None of the other buildings, none of the other hotels have an elevator because they don't have 5 floors. This hotel has 5 floors. This building right in front of us, this white hotel, doesn't have an elevator. But I'm sure this new building here that's being built, that will have an elevator because that looks like it has 7 or 8 floors. So this one will have an elevator. And then now it'll be 2, the only 2 buildings on this entire island that has an elevator. And like I said, if you're just joining us, I tried to come into this hotel to see if I could take you guys on a room tour, but unfortunately at the front desk, they told us that all the rooms are booked out. There's someone staying in every room here. So we're not able to do that. So now I'm going to take you guys down the stairs. This is the elevator, as you can see here. Ali asks, is it worth going on day trips to private resorts for a day? Okay, I'll answer that question once I get downstairs. That's actually a really good question. And some people might not even know that that's a possibility. So I'm going to get into that and tell you how that works and if it's worth it. Just give me a moment. Let me get downstairs and outside. Currently, most of these hotels here are now serving breakfast, so you will see people in the lobby of the hotels having breakfast. As we approach the lobby area now, as you can see, you have some Asians here. They're staying in the rooms here. So here in this hotel, you can eat indoors or you can eat outside here. All right, I'm gonna go walk on the beach. So the type of demographic that you will see here when you're in the Maldives, you'll see Asians, you will see Indians, because India is the closest landmass to the Maldives. The Maldives is located in the Indian Ocean. So the closest landmass to the Maldives is India. I believe it's like an hour and a half flight or something. It's super close. You will see Russians, people from Spain, Germany, France, UK. So a lot of Europeans. Americans, few and far in between. You can count the Americans you see when you're here. Thank you guys for the follow. Thank you guys for following. All right, let's take a walk on the beach. I'm going to leave my slippers right here and I'm out. We're going to take a walk and stroll. I'm going to dip my toes in this water. Many of you guys ask me, what is the water temperature like? Ha! And I say it over and over. You'll hear me say it over and over. It's like bath water. You don't have to dip your toes in here to say, ooh, let me get acclimated to the water. Oh, it's so cold. Oh my God. This is like bath water, my friends. This water is amazing. Maldives is one of the few places on the planet where the water temperature does not fluctuate by much during its season. The water temperature stays pretty much the same throughout the year. It's not like you come here in certain months and the water's freezing, then it warms up again during certain months. No, it's not like that. The water temperature remains constant, which is amazing. No matter what time of the year you come, the water temperature is the same. As you can see, my friends, I have this beach to myself. There is no one here. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. The last time you went on vacation and you were on the beach at 8 o'clock in the morning, were you ever the only one on a beach? These are the questions. These are the questions, my friends. So, to give you perspective, we were just up there. That's the hotel, the roof we were just on. That's Imi Beach. This water feels so good. So good. And today is going to be a very hectic work day for us. Again, if you're just joining us, we have a Maldives budget travel guide that we are creating and expanding. We have already created it. We have about 5 islands on our website, 4 to 5 islands, and we're expanding. We're here in the Maldives for 3 months. We're going to 30 islands, and we're expanding on our budget guide here in the Maldives. And we're showing you that you can have this. You can be walking exactly where I'm walking. You could be walking in my footsteps for pennies on the dollar. It's not the Maldives that you think you know. It's Maldives on a budget, affordable budget, affordable luxury. And as you can see, there's hardly any rocks in the water. There's a few, but as you make your way out, just a few feet, it's all sand out there. Soft, powdery sand in the water. Many places you go to vacation, there's rocks. You have to walk over rocks to get into the water, and it's all rocky. I don't like that. That's not my move. I don't know about you. I'm not trying to get myself cut on coral or slip on a rock that has moss on it. That's not my move. Here in the Maldives, you ain't got to worry about that. Soft, powdery sand all the way out. All the way out. And I'm sorry if I'm not seeing your comments right now, being that I'm walking on the beach. The sun is completely drenching out the screen. I can't see anything. The screen is completely black. Yes, affordable luxury vacation. How far are the corals? Here, you're not gonna see any corals. You gotta go out. You gotta go way out for you to see corals. Because this is all like soft powdery sand here. I could literally walk out to those swings and water will be up to my knees. Literally. We have our first couple on the beach. They're getting themselves a chair. So what you will notice here on this specific island, Gulhi Island, when people come from Mafushi, when they visit this island as guests from Mafushi, they're not sleeping here, they're not booking a room here. They have their room over in Mafushi. They will come on a boat. They pay the boat $1.20, and then you come here. This area is where they all stay. And the reason I know this is because, number one, they come in a big group. They come in a really big group. Two, this is the only place where you could get shade on this beach. As you can see, I just walked the beach. There's no tree line. This is the only tree. So what happens is when they come in their big group, they come here, they spread their towels. And as you can see, the sun is rising. So the sun is here and it'll then go overhead. So this, as you can see, there's sun here now because it's early, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. But as it becomes 10, 11, the shade begins to creep forward and this whole area is shaded. So by the time the visitors come from Mafushi, which is 15 minutes away, I would be in the shade here. So they come here, they all hang out. That's when you know the day visitors. The people who are staying on this island, who have rented a room here, they're more here. They use these umbrellas. Now, I have to tell you, if you look at the condition of these umbrellas, it's not the greatest. I think we could all agree with that. Like, look at these umbrellas. They're not the greatest. But they have improved because when we were here 4 months ago, this was all they had. These types of umbrellas. Like the sun goes right through it. Look, like you could see right through this, right? Like, so it's not the greatest umbrella. And the chairs they had were not the greatest neither. Like, look at this. But now it's getting better. 4 months later, we're back. You have these umbrellas. You have these type of beach chairs. So they're really nice beach chairs now that they put out here. So with time, things are getting better and better on these local islands. They're improving monthly. Literally monthly, they're improving. Any vacation questions? Yes, definitely. How many locals live on this island? Like I guessed when I was on the roof, I guessed it was about 3,000. And I think that's highballing it. But since you asked that question, I'm going to ask a local. When I find a local, I'm going to say, roughly how many people live on this island? But that's a good question because you guys saw when I was on the roof how tiny the island is, right? The island is super tiny. Many people ask, is the island safe? Yes, Maldives is super safe. Super, super safe. I left my shades on the desk in the hotel, in the lobby. And I walked away from it and I forgot to pick it up. I was looking for it in the room the next day. I wanted to use it. Couldn't find it. Nowhere. I'm like, Irina, you seen my shades? Couldn't find it. I went downstairs. Later on that evening, I went to the front desk to get something. And when I looked on the front desk, I saw my shades just sitting there. A day and a half later, my shades are still exactly the same place I left it. And I remembered, I said, oh, that's right. When I came here and I was flying the drone, I put the drone down and I took off my shades and I left the shades on the counter at the hotel. Morning. How are you? So I have a question for you. I'm live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. They're asking me how many locals live on this island. Do you know? A little bit of English? No? Do you know how many people live on this island? How many people live on the island? So she doesn't speak that much English. So that's what I was telling you guys. The older folks, like these type of people, they don't really speak much English. If I speak to someone younger, they will speak English. So they're trying to figure out what I'm saying. Hi. 1,000 people live on this island. Wow. So there's your answer. Thank you. Thank you. So there it is, 1,000 people. I said 3,000, and I said I highballed it, right? 1,000 people live on this island. Thank you. 1,000 people. 1,000 people. That's crazy. Morning. 1,000 people. I love it. I love it. I love small islands. Look, they sell all these different clothing. You can purchase here. These are pants, women pants. They're handbags that say Maldives. This is a whale shark. For those of you who don't know, this is what a whale shark looks like. It's behemoth. It is massive. So they have it on the bag. What else they have here? I think they have all the different sharks. Oh, these are nice shorts, actually. These are nice shorts. So again, if you forgot something at home, you forgot to pack something, chances are you can get it here. Or maybe you underpacked, which is not the case for most people. Most people overpack. They never underpack. Well, my wife and I have underpacked before. But yeah, you come to places like this, you're able to get what you want. Here's the coffee shop I was mentioning before. I'm going to take you inside Airalo restaurant. And I had someone in the live stream yesterday ask, well, what is there to eat on this island? Like, I don't know the culture. I don't know if I'm going to like the food. I was like, okay. So I'm going to show you guys. So again, this is the hotel my wife and I are staying. As you can see, they have like a balcony area. These hearts, they give you the hearts. So the owner of this hotel, we also have a discount code. If you want to stay in this hotel, we have additional ways of saving. As you could see, they have their own diving equipment. So when you check into this hotel, you can go diving with them. You don't have to go with anyone else, or you can go with anyone else, whatever you want to do. But they do have fins. They have everything you need here. Life jackets, they have everything. How you doing? So you can go out with them. They also have snorkeling. You could snorkel with sharks every day. Right? So you could do all that stuff with them. But it's cool because the owner of this hotel, he's an artist. As you can see, he's the one that painted all of this. He painted all of this stuff. Really cool. He painted this butterfly here where you could sit and take a photo. They now expanded and they opened a store. So right across from the hotel, you can come out, you can come into the store, you can buy water, you can buy chips and cookies and snacks and mosquito spray, soda. Hi. So yeah, it's really cool. It's really convenient. He also painted this. He's a great artist. And it's really cool because when we were here last year, when we were leaving, he gave us a bag. He gave us a present. So it was, let me see if I can find one. So as you can see here, he paints these bags like really pretty. Do you guys see that? And here's all his paint brushes. So when he is here, he's painting and you can find him here. And it was really cool because when we left last time, he had a bag hung here and he gave it to us as a going away gift. He painted all of this. Like he has his own gallery here. Look at this. And he gave us a bag that he painted on. It was bigger than the one I just showed you over there. It was a much bigger bag and we still have it. We actually brought it back with us because we use it for everything. So it's really handy and it's a really sturdy bag. And these hearts that you see here, what they'll do is when you stay at his hotel, he'll give you a heart and then you get to paint. So here it says, I love Gulhi, August 2024, Italy. So they're from Italy. Gulhi 2024, Spain. So they're from Spain. Remember, I told you the type of people that are always here. Love you, Kathy. So, you paint and you write whatever it is you want to write on the heart. And you kind of hang it up here. So over time, apparently they recently started this because I don't think they were doing this 4 months ago when we were here. Maybe there was a few of them, but not a lot. So I could imagine fast forward another 2 months from now, how many of these red hearts are going to be plastered along this whole area. And it's going to be beautiful because in the nighttime, I don't know if you guys can see it, but you see the rope lights that they have here? It's all rope lights going along. So in the nighttime, it's beautiful here. It's lit, the colors are warm, and then you have these hearts hanging. It's absolutely beautiful. So these are the type of tours you can take while you're here at Ocean Pearl. You could do sandbank excursions. You could do snorkeling. You can go dolphin watching, and you can go night fishing. We're going to be doing all of that. The night fishing, we're going to take you live. So when it's nighttime for us, it's morning time for you guys. So it'll probably be around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be out on the ocean night fishing, and we're going to take you with us. It is so awesome. I love night fishing. I'm not a fisherman by any means. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we've done it 4 times already since we've been coming to the Maldives, and I catch fish. I catch fish. Irina always catches more than I do. Last time we went out, Irina caught like 6 fishes. She caught snapper, she caught barracuda. I caught like a bunch of red and white snappers. But yeah, that's how many fish are. You don't have to be experienced, and you're gonna catch a fish. So now let me show you the menu of this restaurant. Morning. Morning. Can I have one of your menus, please? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So now I'm going to show you guys what the menus look like here, because I know a lot of you kind of wonder, hey, it's the Maldives. What do they eat? What is there? What's available? So I'm going to show you what the menu looks like in most of the restaurants here. Now, they are local restaurants that you'll find on the island, but they are also island. Morning, guys. How are you? Good, good, thanks. So I'll give you a quick overview of what the menu looks like. So Benha Island is here, and this is the hotel, and the restaurant is below it, right? So in the menu, it's so difficult on TikTok because the screen is so narrow. But I'll just give you like a quick overview, if you guys can see here. So these are kind of like the Maldivian breakfast. That's mashuni and roshi, and then like you have steaks, you have chicken, you have noodles, you have different types of rice, you have pasta, you have seafood pasta, you have chicken and rice, chicken prepared differently. And you see the prices, right? In US dollars. You see that, right? You guys see the prices? You see how affordable it is, right? Look at that. Now it says not available. The pizzas are not available because I think there's something wrong with their oven. But they had pizzas. The pizzas are $8, $9 for pizza. You could get margarita pizza, chicken pesto, all different types of pizza, and it's only $9, and it's a pie. You're getting a pie. You get salads. You get soups. You have club sandwiches, beef burgers, chicken burgers. You have veggie wraps. You have seafood. You have crab, lobster, shrimp, calamari. You have all of that. Again, also their kitchen is being overhauled, so certain things they're not able to prepare. That's why you see it says not available. But normally all this stuff is available. You have desserts, blueberry cheesecake, biscuit pudding, fresh fruit platters. You have it all here. And again, we in our travel guide, we have scanned every single menu in every single restaurant on every single island that we have visited. So all this information that I just showed you, we have that in our travel guide. You will see every page. So again, whenever you're coming here and you're looking to plan on what you eat, maybe you're a vegetarian, maybe you're vegan. It doesn't matter what it is; they'll be able to accommodate your need. Thank you so much. Thanks. So this is the dining area for this hotel. Now I'm going to show you the reception area when you first come into the hotel. This is what it looks like. As you could see, every hotel have their own excursion. As you could see here, is this? Oh, there we go. It was zoomed in. That's why. Sorry about that, TikTok. So you have a half day trip, you have a full day trip, you have a sunset fishing trip. You can go to a resort. So Ali mentioned before about the resort. Is it worth going to a resort when you come here? So if you're traveling the Maldives on a budget, but you want to see what the resort life is like, so the private resorts, you can do that. You could stay in a budget hotel, and you could take a day trip to go out to a private resort, and you can be there all day on that private resort. And for what it costs, that price is the admission to the private resort, That cost is the admission for you to eat on that island. And that cost is the admission for you to drink on that island. And when I say drink, I mean alcohol. As I mentioned before, Maldives is a Muslim country, which means on local islands, you will not find alcohol. There is no alcohol on local islands. But if I show you this, you might be like, what the hell are you talking about? That's beer. You see kiwi mint beer, peach beer, German lager. That's beer, right? But that's non-alcoholic beer. So I can take you in the stores and you'll find Heineken, but it's non-alcoholic. So there's no alcohol on local islands. If you want to drink, you have to go to a private island. So when you take a boat and you go out to the private islands, that's when you're able to drink till you pass out. You can use their entire facility on that private island, and you can enjoy it, and you could see, you get a taste of what the private island life is like. So I would suggest, if you do come to Maldives and you are traveling on a budget, you are already saving a lot of money by coming to these local islands. If you have just enough to splurge to go to a private island. And I want to say, as far as the cost, I want to say sometimes it starts at about maybe $89 to go to a private island, maybe $120 to go to a private island for the day, which includes your transfer to and from that island, food, and drinks. So basically, whatever it is that you're paying to go to that island, it's being used for the food that you're going to consume. It's used for the alcohol that you're going to consume. And of course, the transfer fee. It's all included in that fee. So it is definitely worth it. I highly recommend, if you are coming to the Maldives and you want to get the most out of it, the most, you're already getting the most by staying on local islands, because you're paying such low fares to do things. And also, if you want to experience, now you could say, I went to the Maldives, I stayed on local islands, I understand the culture, I stayed with the local people, and I also saw the private resorts where people are spending thousands of dollars per night that are staying there. I didn't spend thousands of dollars because I didn't book an overwater bungalow there, but I saw what it looked like. I walked past the overwater bungalows, I walked on the jetty, I used the facilities there, I see their restaurants on those islands, and they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. So yeah, definitely, 100%. I highly recommend it, highly. I see a couple people going out on, looks like fishing trips or something. I'm gonna walk back to the shark area to see if I see any nurse sharks that might be straying. So you can see there are no boats out here right now, because normally the boats will dock here. But again, I'm looking to see if I see a stingray in the beginning of this live stream. I showed you guys a stingray. They go back and forth here in this water. Again, I hope I'm giving you guys value. I hope you're liking what you're seeing and you're getting a better understanding of the Maldives if you didn't even know about the Maldives. Because I've said it before. I've asked people, I'm like, oh, there's a nurse shark. There's a nurse shark, guys. You see it? Can you guys see it? I'm sorry if the reflection is not good. Let me know if you see the nurse shark at the bottom of the ocean, at the bottom of the water. He's sleeping, actually. That's why he's not moving. He's just down there sleeping. Yeah, you guys see it? Okay, you guys see it on YouTube and Facebook, and you see it. Yeah, he's sleeping. He's a big boy too. Big boy. So pretty. They're amazing. They're amazing. They're like big puppies. I'm gonna go down to this side over here to see if they're swimming, because over here they're normally swimming around. When you do see them here in this harbor, they're usually kind of just in the bottom sleeping. That's our island. Yay! Gulhi Island. And let me tell you, the Maldivians are proud of their islands. You guys will see it here. Whenever we're live and we're on an island, people are like, come to my island. Come to my island. They are proud of their islands. And again, there's over 1,200 islands in the Maldives. The Maldives is made up of 1,200 islands, and 200 of them are inhabitable, meaning 200 of them have people living on it. Hello. These are the fishing boats, as I mentioned before. Yeah, Gulhi is awesome, man. I love this island. I love this island. I could stay on this island for a week easily. Morning. Again, everything is so easy to get around. You see how many times I've walked back and forth with you guys from this point here to the beach where I just was. It's literally like a 4 minute walk. Like that. That's epic. That's epic. Damn, I see fishes jumping out in the ocean there, and the birds are just scooping them up. So again, this is the area for those of you who are just joining us where it gets flooded with nurse sharks. There's like over 20 nurse sharks here in the evening time. Right now it's morning. It is 8:38 in the morning. So there might be one or two swimming around here, but they normally don't come around here because then there's no food here. But in the evening time, they know the fishermen come back from fishing. They clean their fish right here, and then they throw the scraps in here. And that's why there's so many sharks in the nighttime. I was live. I was showing you guys what it looks like, and you guys were blown away. It was incredible. If you guys want to see what that looks like when there's over 20 massive nurse sharks here and stingrays on our YouTube channel, the video has been posted there. I think the title was Shark. It just had one word. It said shark. And it's about a 15-minute video. And I get really close to them. I go down on these rocks and I could touch them. That's how close I was to them. I could literally pet them. And they're just there. They're just hanging out right here. They're all clumped together, guys. They're all on top of each other. Massive nurse sharks. And they're all just right here waiting for the fishermen to throw the scraps from the fish that they caught and cleaned into the water. They know. These boys know. But look how beautiful this water is. You could see so many shades of blue. It's incredible. And again, I don't know if video does any justice, but this is the only way I know I can bring this to you guys while we're here. And that's why my wife and I agreed that when we do come back to the Maldives, we want to live stream. We want to show you what it's like being here to the best of our abilities and what our everyday life is and what we're doing here, and just exposing this lifestyle to you guys, because at the end of the day, we would love to get any one of you that's viewing this live stream right now to come here and experience this, and to be like, I never knew a place like this existed till I saw it via live stream, and now I'm actually here. Because again, we don't sugarcoat anything. We don't tell lies. We tell you the way it is. You make your decision from there. And if you guys follow us, if you are new here and you follow us, my wife and I are here for 30. My wife and I are here for 3 months, not on this island, but on 30 different islands. If you're just joining us now, this is our second island out of 30 plus islands. I don't know if it's going to be 31. I don't know if it's going to be 39, but we only have 3 months to do this. And I know 3 months might sound like a lot to you guys, especially when you think about how Americans go on vacation. They get a week off, they get 2 weeks off, they get 10 days. And, that's a short period. And now here I am saying 3 months in this paradise. 3 months, over 30 islands we're going to. It sounds like an eternity. But when you're doing what we do as content creators, we are creating a Maldives on a budget travel guide. There's not enough hours in a day to obtain information, the information that we're putting together for you. Again, going to all the hotels on the island. This island, I just found out, someone asked, and I asked the local, how many people live on this island? They said 1,000 people live on this island. On this island, we know for a fact there's over about 20 hotels. My wife and I were here 2 months ago. We went to every single hotel on this island. We walked into the room. We showed you what the rooms look like. From higher end hotels like what we're looking at straight ahead, that white building. It's not completed yet. It's being built. When we were here 4 months ago, that looked like a skeleton. Now look at it. It's painted. Balconies are up. Doors are up. Windows are up. Now they're working on the interior. In the next month, this hotel is built. You'll be able to come and book this hotel. So it's crazy. So we go into every single hotel. We film the rooms to show you what the room types look like. We go into every single restaurant. Now, as I told you before, every island is completely different than the other. For example, Todu Island, it is a farm. It's known as a farmer's island because there's a lot of farmers on there. They grow a lot of, I think I see a nurse shark. I'll let you know if it comes closer. Yeah, it is a nurse shark. I'll wait to see for it to come closer. They grow papaya. They grow, their number one crop is watermelon. They distribute watermelon to all the other local islands and to Male. That island is huge. To get around it, you need a bicycle. So on certain islands, you'll see me riding you around on a bicycle while I'm live streaming with one hand. I have one hand on with my camera and my other hand controlling the bicycle, riding you around, showing you different places. But also because that island is so huge, it has over 80 hotels. So imagine trying to be on an island for 1 week, going into all 80 hotels, going into all their different room types, filming the room, going to all the restaurants on that island, going to all the dive shops on that island and all the excursion shops on that island, scanning their menus so you could see what things cost. What if you're a diver, how much does it cost to go diving off this island? If you want snorkeling, how much is it to go on a snorkeling trip? You swim with swimwear, stingrays or dolphins or mantas. How much does it cost? We're getting all this information for you. So as much as you guys might be looking through this lens and thinking, wow, they're in paradise, this is amazing. For us, it's a totally different ball game. For us, every second that ticks off the clock is information that we could be getting. And we have to obtain. Today, when my wife wakes up, which will probably be in the next half an hour, she'll jump in this live stream so I know that she's up. We're going to get on the clock. I'm going to end this live stream. My wife and I are going to go have breakfast. Immediately when we're done, we go upstairs, we get dressed, we start looking proper, and we get ready to film for our travel guide. And we're going to more hotels. We're finding out more information. We're making more contacts for you guys. Because like I mentioned in our travel guides, we give you our personal contacts with the people who own these boats. The owners of these boats, we have their personal contacts. So if you guys need to do something special that you want to do, maybe your hotel don't accommodate it, we'll give you the contacts. So you can reach out to someone that owns this boat and you can say, hey, I'm here with 3 people. We would like to, oh, look at the nurse shark. 2 of them coming, 2 of them. No. These are baby shark, black tip sharks, guys, look. Look, 3 black tip sharks. Can you see it? Please tell me you can see it. There's 3 of them, 4 of them. Can you guys see it? Tell me you see it. That one is going away. There's 2 right behind that yellow buoy right there. Oh, I could see them so clear, and I know maybe you guys can't see it. Okay, there's one coming towards me. He's right here by this blue boat, by the buoy. He's swimming around in a circle. It's a black tip shark. It's only about maybe 2 feet in length. You see, it just popped up. There's about 4 of them right there right now. You guys see it? The black tip shark? Yeah, it's right there. There's 4 of them, and I know maybe you can't see it because of the reflection on the water, but I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 of them now. One is coming towards us, but he's a little bit deeper under the water. They're floating around that yellow buoy right there. So cool. So the black tip sharks, you see them more on other islands. There's one that's about to pop up right here. He's right behind this blue boat by the engine. You guys see it? He's swimming right by the engine. He's on the other side now going out. There's another one coming towards us right now. Same, right behind this blue boat. Not sure if you guys can see it. He's coming up. There's his tip. The tip just popped out of the water. The black tip. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them here. I don't see any whale sharks. I mean, any nurse sharks here though. It's too early. But yeah, they're all over here. This is the beauty of the Maldives, my friends. I never thought I would be so happy and thrilled to see these types of marine life as I have been. I've mentioned to you guys many times in my live stream, I am totally honest. I am transparent. I am not the best swimmer. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as to say I don't really swim that well. When I go out on these tours, on these excursions, I have a life jacket on because I don't think I'd be able to manage jumping into this water without a life jacket. And that's kind of a shame to say at the age of 53, but I was never taught how to swim. And I don't know how many of you guys in this live stream actually know how to swim. But if you're younger, it's something that's so vital to understand how to swim. The earth is covered with majority of water. Like, that's something that's supposed to be so 101 in life. And sometimes we're just not taught to swim, or maybe we grew up in a city and, you know, we just don't have access to maybe a pool or something like that. And no one never taught us how to swim. That was how it was in my case. I mean, I was born in Belize. My dad never really taught me how to swim. He was a great swimmer. He would go in Belize. He goes diving for free diving for lobsters in Belize. But then I left Belize when I was 10 years old. My mom doesn't know how to swim. My mom is definitely afraid of water. Just sitting here right now, my mom would have like palpitations because when she sees water like this, she goes into like a panic. I try to get my mom to go on a cruise. The biggest thing to overcome is being on a cruise in the middle of the ocean and there's no land. For her, that's traumatizing. So to this point, I have never gotten her to go on a cruise, even though we speak about it many times. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. But, you know, I get it. My dad threw us in rivers. That's how I learned. That's a funny thing you mentioned, North Star. I've heard many stories of people who say, my dad threw me in the water. My mom threw me in the water. And that's how I learned to swim. Now, that seems to be a common denominator for people who kind of know how to swim. So it seems like it would make sense. And when you use the terminology throw, I picture like maybe you're standing on the edge of a jetty or something, and you're looking over into the water, and your family member just comes from behind you and just chucks you into the water, and you're like, oh my God, and you drop into the water and you have to swim. In all honesty, you're going to have to explain this to me. I really don't understand that process. And here's why I don't understand the process. What it seems like to me and what it sounds like when you say that, it sounds like automatically when you drop into water, something kicks in your mind where it's survival mode. So you automatically go into this mode where it's like, okay, I can survive. Even though I've never done this before, I know the process of swimming. I know the process of staying above water so I don't drown. I don't really understand that process because the way I see it, if you don't know how to survive under a certain circumstance, how do you know what to do to survive? Not only that, I feel like that's kind of traumatizing to me. That can actually traumatize you to the sense that if you were possibly drowning and they jumped in to save you because you didn't know what to do, now that becomes trauma to you. Now you don't even want to see water at all. You don't want to go near a beach. You don't want to go nowhere because you're like, I remember when I was younger, I was pushed into the ocean and I almost drowned. They had to jump in to save me. Now it becomes trauma and you have to live through that. So now growing up into like a young adult or older adult, for you to then try to learn how to swim, it makes it so much difficult because every time you're thinking about when you were thrown into water and you almost drowned. Because that's what happened to me. When I was in Miami, not that someone threw me into the water, but I was vacationing. I was probably maybe 20, 23 years old. And I was in Miami. And I was in the pool, and the pool was about maybe 10 feet deep. I was on the deeper end of the pool. And I was there with a friend of mine. And I'm going to show you how crazy this all is. I was inside the pool. I was holding onto the ledge, 10 feet pool deep. I am 6 foot, meaning I can't touch the bottom. When in my mind, I said, you know what? Let me see what it feels like to let go and not hold on to the side of the pool and see if I can float on top of the water. The moment I let go on the side of that pool in Miami as I was vacationing, I started panicking and I sank. I started sinking to the bottom of the pool. I'm going to tell you what my experience was. This is the most insane thing ever. As I was struggling, trying to come up to the surface of the pool for air, I was making it worse. I was frailing. In my mind, I'm looking up and I'm seeing daylight. My friend was next to me on the side of the pool. He was just sitting on the side of the pool with his feet in the water. I looked up and I could see him, and I'm struggling and I'm sinking to the bottom of the 10-foot pool. And I'm feeling like I'm reaching out to him, like to tell him, help me, I'm drowning, I can't swim. He didn't know I can't swim. And I'm looking up, and I tell you, as I'm sitting here right now, it is the most bizarre feeling. After struggling for, I don't know how long it felt like maybe it was like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I decided in that moment, as I'm sinking to the bottom of the pool, this is the way I'm going to die. And I now accept it. And I began to let go. I literally began to let go. And you know, when people said they have near-death experience, that they see their lives flash in front of them? As I'm sitting talking to you right now, I will never, ever forget this. I saw my entire life, 21 years old, flash in front of me, and everything replaying in reverse at hyper speed. I am not making this up. I'm having goosebumps talking about this right now, my friends. And I decided I am going to die, and I'm ready to die, and I'm letting go. And I stopped struggling. The moment I stopped struggling, I felt someone grabbed me in the back of my shirt and pulled me up. And within a heartbeat, I was on the ledge of the pool, gasping and choking. My friend looks over to me. He's like, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, choking. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, yo, you're here. And you're like, what's wrong with you? Like, he didn't know I didn't know how to swim. And I just let it go. I didn't say another word. I did not say another word about it. And that was it. That was my experience. Now, as a grown adult, years later, I meet Irina, my wife. She now is a part of my life. She's my wife. I have spoken to her about this experience that I have, because she's like, Dev, how do you not know how to swim? It is so easy. I'm going to teach you how to swim. But to this point, I have not been able to learn. I've lived in Hawaii for 3 years. Hawaii is an amazing place. And I said I was going to learn how to swim in Miami, in Hawaii. And I never did. I don't have the fear of the water like I used to, because I will go out into the water, but I will only go out till as much as my tippy toe can touch. The moment I can't touch the bottom, there's a switch in my mind that says you can no longer touch the bottom, which means you no longer have control. Chances are you might drown. So I have this mental block in my mind currently, to this very moment as I'm talking to you now, that does not allow me to go past water that I cannot touch. So 6 foot of water, I'm 6'1". Once it gets to 6'2", my mind goes into another mode. It goes into a panic mode. It goes into a mode that, bro, you can no longer touch. I hope you know what you're doing. And I start reflecting back on that day in Miami. So this is what I mean when you say you got thrown into the deep end of the water, of the ocean, of the pool. And that's how you learn how to swim. That was not my experience. And it has caused trauma towards me, for me to even be brave enough to say, you know what, I'm going to try it. I'm just going to jump into the ocean. It's salt water. I know we could swim. I know we could float. Let me give it a go. And maybe it would have worked out better for me that way, because it's controlled. But to say that you're being thrown into water without knowing how to swim, that idea to me is just so crazy. It's just crazy. And I know there are a lot of people that don't know how to swim. And it's super unfortunate. It's super unfortunate, because I wish I could go out into the ocean at times and just swim. Guys, it was so bad for me. Let me explain how bad it was for me. When we were living in New York and we knew we were moving to Hawaii, I went and I researched life vests. I went online, I went on Amazon, and I purchased a life vest. It took me 4 days to do the research to purchase a life vest. In my mind, life vests do not work. I've never wore a life vest before. I know I don't know how to swim, but I don't have the confidence that a life vest can keep me above water. That's how bad it was for me. So I did the research. I purchased a life vest. That life vest took up half of my suitcase. But I'd be darned if I go to Hawaii and I'm swimming in the water and I don't have a life vest because I don't know how to swim. So I need something that's going to protect me. So I purchased this life vest. When I got to Hawaii, we went to the Big Island. This was the first thing that I ever did in my life when it comes to being in the open ocean. That's why I had this life vest, because I know I wanted to swim with dolphins. They took us out on a boat on the Big Island of Hawaii. We went about 30 minutes into the ocean, deep blue ocean. I put that life vest on. I was counting my blessings. I said, I don't know if this life vest is going to work, but I know it should. It's a life vest. That's what it's designed for. I had to convince myself that this apparatus will work and it will keep me above water. I put the life vest on when I was in Hawaii, and they asked, before we went into the water, the instructors asked, does anyone on this boat is not comfortable with the water or do not know how to swim? I raised my hand. I said, me. She said, okay, I notice you have your own life vest. That's great. You should be fine. Do you also want a noodle? For those of you who don't know, a noodle is like a tube. It's about a 6-foot tube. It's made out of pyro. I forgot how to say the word. So it's like a floaty device, and it's hollow. Water can go right through it, and it bends. So you can lean your body into it, and you can literally float. And it's a skinny tube, but it works. It keeps you afloat. So she said, I will give you a tube as well as your life vest if you're not comfortable in the water. I said, okay. She said, I will also be right next to you. If you need me, I'm a hand reach away. I said, okay, everything is in place now. I have a life vest, I have a noodle, and I have an experienced swimmer next to me that's there to help me if anything goes wrong. This was my moment. I exited the rear of the boat via the ladder. I said, okay, I'm not just going to jump in because I don't think this life vest is going to save me and is going to work right now. I still have doubts. I lowered myself into the ocean from the back of the boat, and I slowly let go. I did not sink. I stayed floating. Instantly, my mind was put at rest 80% because I know now a life vest works. How ridiculous does that sound, right? For a grown person, not even having confidence in a life vest. But the reason that is because of my trauma that I experienced that I just explained to you. Trauma will do that to you. As adults, we go through so many different types of trauma in our lives that it's like sometimes you have trauma and you don't even know it. You experience something in life that affects you so badly that it creates mental blocks and it does not allow you to move forward in life. Whether it's in business or in my situation, swimming or I don't know, maybe there was child abuse, just so many different things that create trauma for us. And it happens to us when we're so small and we forget about it. Well, it's actually in the back of our minds because our minds put this protective barrier there that if this situation happens again, it knows that it's been in this situation and it's not a comfortable situation. So that's how trauma works. So I let go of the boat and I was floating. That's all she wrote. As I'm swimming, I'm literally swimming because I'm floating with the life vest also, but I'm going through the swimming motion. The instructor looked over to me. She goes, Devon, you know how to swim. You're fine. And I'm like, I didn't know what to say. I was just like, okay. I had the dolphin experience. We saw beautiful dolphins. We were swimming with spinner dolphins. And it was an amazing experience. And when I got back on that boat, I was like, wow, I did it. I am now comfortable with a life vest. And that, fast forward now to this point, that's where I'm at. And now I'm so comfortable with a life vest that when I go out on these tours here in the Maldives, I'll literally jump off the boat. As long as I have my life vest on, I will jump off the boat, backflip into water, no problem, because I know I'm going to pop back up. I am not so sure if I did have that life vest and I tried that, that would be a thing. I'm not there yet. I'm not comfortable like that yet. You're not going to find me in the water without a life vest right now. Just not going to happen. I did promise myself when I go back to Razdu, if you guys were with our live stream 3 months ago, we were here in the Maldives. We went to Razdu. The people in Razdu are amazing. Shallow Lagoon. I told Irina, when we go back to Razdu this time in the Maldives, I'm going to learn how to swim. I'm going to get into water that I cannot touch, and I'm going to learn how to swim. But it has to be under certain conditions to my comfortability. In other words, the tour guides, they're going to have to be right next to me. Irina is going to have to be there with me. And I'm going to let go. I won't be able to touch. And I'm going to start my swimming, what I feel like is swimming. And I know if anything goes wrong, they're right there with me. That's how I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to get over my fears. And I'm going to bring you guys along with me. Why? Because when we go to Razdu, when we go swimming on excursions, it's literally 10 minutes off the island. It's like you could see the island right there ahead of us. That's how the island is. Take swimming lessons. Yes. A lot of people tell me take swimming lessons. But again, you know, I'm older now, right? For me to find the time to say, you know what? I'm finally going to take swimming lessons so I can learn how to swim. You know, it's a funny thing because you talk about your everyday as an adult. I work, I have things I do, I have responsibilities that I have to do in my day. And for me to say, I'm going to designate X amount of hours over X amount of time for me to learn how to swim. And maybe I'm in New York, maybe I'm in Hawaii, maybe I'm in Kuala Lumpur, maybe I'm in Thailand, right? Like for me to designate that time, as important as I know it is to learn how to swim, I don't have the desire to say, I'm going to designate X amount of time for X amount of time to learn how to swim. I'd rather go around doing something else. So you hearing me say that, you know that, well, how is it that you're ever going to learn if you don't apply yourself? The first way of learning, you have to apply yourself, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, I don't have any inclinations to go and take swimming lessons. I rather learn organically. I rather learn with people around me that know how to swim. I'm in the ocean and I go through the steps. So when I do it in Razdu, because I told my wife that I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna be streaming live. So one of two things are going to happen, my friends, as I sit here totally transparent with you. You're either gonna see me sink and start panicking, and they're gonna have to start rescuing me, or I'm going to let go and I'm gonna start swimming. One out of the two. But the reason I'm also doing this, and the reason I also want to live stream this, is because I want you guys to see how I'm dealing with trauma that I have experienced when I was younger and how I'm overcoming it. And if I could overcome it, you can overcome it as well. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but you're going to see it and you're going to see what the outcome is. I don't know. Both my kids are lifeguard. That's amazing. That's amazing. That is so important as parents to teach your kids to swim. I don't even understand how much I could stress that. It is so important. And if you don't know how to swim as parents, send them to swimming school as early as possible. As early as possible. It is a part of life. We all go on vacations when you know, as we grow older, and we go to places where there's water. We want to be in the water. It's where we come from. Like everyone should know how to swim. It's so vital. I taught mine as little babies. Yeah, Brenda, I've seen classes where you could take your newborn baby, just months old, and they put them in water face down and they automatically flip over on their back and they float. That's amazing to me. That's astounding. That is so cool. But I've also spoke to adults, grown adults, that say, I will never send my kids to swimming school. I see how they do it. They push your kids in the water. They ain't pushing my kid in the water. Now, what does that tell you, right? There it is, like a parent who's very adamant about their child. They're very controlling to the point that I don't want my kid to learn how to swim because I'm so protective of their life that I don't want something to go sideways and my kid dies. God forbid that happens. So I'm not allowing that process to happen. There are a lot of parents that are overprotective of their children. It's a natural thing. It is a natural thing. For some, not so much. A lot of people, they let their kids go. They cut them loose. I, for one, I don't know. I'm more of the protective type. But there's a lot of people that cut their kids loose from early. I've been taught trauma with almost drowning, but my kids know how to swim. Ah, okay, I see. Reading some of your comments now. Well, that's what I was saying. The floating breathing techniques. Yeah, yeah. You have to know how to breathe. You know, I think a lot of times people drown is because of panic. When you panic, you're doing things that are not, you're just out of control. Your mouth is open, you're gasping for air. And if you're in water and you're opening your mouth, gasping for air, your water is being poured into your mouth. Now you're making situations even worse. And I'm going to tell you something even funnier. To continue with that story, when I was in Miami, and I mentioned it to Irina, this is what made all the sense in the world to me. Remember I told you what I was seeing, right? Remember I told you I was sinking to the bottom of that pool? Remember I told you that? And remember I told you that I felt a hand grab me in the back of my shirt and pulled me out of the water? Remember I told you that? After I told my wife this story, my wife said, Devon, I don't know what you were going through when you were in that water, what was going through your mind, but I can guarantee you this. You were not sinking to the bottom of that pool. It is impossible for you to have been sinking to the bottom of the pool. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was drowning. She's like, okay, you basically told me you were sinking to the bottom of the pool. And if that was the case, how did your friend sitting on the ledge of the pool pull you in the back of your shirt out of the pool with one pull? If you were sinking to the bottom of the pool, he would have had to dive into that pool, dive down to the bottom of 10 feet, and swim you up to the top. You told me he grabbed you by the back of your shirt and yanked you out the water. Do you know what that means? That means you were not sinking to the bottom of the pool. It was your panic that made you think you were sinking to the bottom of the pool. You were probably floating with your face down into the water, and he saw you floating like that and grabbed you by the back of your shirt and pulled you out the water. And I stopped for a moment and I thought about that. And I was like, oh my God, that's actually a possibility. Because I know he didn't jump into the water. He was not wet. He was dry because he was sitting on the edge of the pool. So adding all that up in the story, I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. I wasn't sinking to the bottom of the pool. My face was turned down into the pool. I was floating face down into the pool. That's why my friend was able to grab me by the back of my shirt and pull me out of the pool. It makes perfect sense. But you see what trauma does to you? It makes you create these things in your mind that didn't really happen, to the point, to the extreme of me thinking I'm sinking to the bottom of a 10-foot pool. And that didn't happen. Now I'm convinced that did not happen that way. And I'm positive it didn't happen that way because my friend was not wet. He didn't have to jump into the pool to grab me. He just simply had to reach over, grab me by the shirt, and yank me out the pool. That is insane to me, how the mind works. Insane. Uh-huh. She's just texting me right now. She says, Ayala, breakfast. That means it's time for us to go to breakfast. My wife is awake. I don't know if she just woke up or she's in the live stream, but she said breakfast. It's now breakfast time. So the time is now 9:12. Wow. I go from one story to the next. I apologize, guys. Sometimes I could be kind of like here, there, and everywhere. But I just thought I'd share that story with you because, you know, it's important. And it's a journey I'm going through in my life that I'm trying to fix. I'm trying to be better at. Because again, look at this. This is beautiful. And for me to enjoy it at its fullest, I need to learn how to swim. I need to learn how to swim. I see black tip sharks in this water, a lot of them. And again, I know you guys probably won't be able to see it because of the reflection and also because of just the distance of where they are and the lens on this camera. But I can literally count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I count 9 sharks, 9 black tip sharks. They call them black tip sharks because the top of their fin has a little black tip on it. There's also a white tip shark, and as the name suggests, the top of their fin is white. But they're about maybe a foot or two below the waterline. So I could see them clearly here, but I'm sure you guys probably can't. But again, I'm going to show you black tip sharks and white tip sharks all the time here in the Maldives. 2 of them is right here by this boat, swimming around. You see the black tip just popped up? Right behind the motor of this blue boat. They keep swimming around right there. So beautiful. But I'll be walking with them on the beach. I'll show you. I'll be walking alongside the beach and I'm like, look, guys, there's a baby shark. There's a black tip shark. That's how it is here in the Maldives. So beautiful. This is truly, truly our happy place. My wife and I say it all the time. Maldives is our happy place. And we're so excited to be able that we're in the technology age that I'm thousands of miles away from you guys and I can stream and I can talk to you in real time and I can show you what it is that we are experiencing. It is just truly, truly remarkable. And again, if we could get one person, just one person in this live stream to come to the Maldives, maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but now you have the information that you know for sure you have the budget to travel the Maldives. And what you did know about the Maldives before is that it was expensive. It was thousands of dollars. I could never afford it. When my wife and I got married here last year, we spent $1,300 per night staying at a private resort. $1,300 per night. But that was our wedding. We thought it would have been a once in a lifetime thing. We would never able to afford coming back to the Maldives again. Once in a lifetime. And here we are. Third time coming back to the Maldives. Third time. First time, 1 month. Second time, 2 months. Now third time, 3 months. 3 months here in the Maldives. Over 30 islands. And we're bringing it to you. We're going to show you in real time. You're taking this journey with us. You guys are going to be Maldivian experts by the time we're done with you. We're going to give you so much information. You're going to know about all these islands. Again, look, the nurse shark is still there. This boy is still sleeping. Same place. Look, can you guys see it? It's right by the rope here. Boy's still down there sleeping. It's hilarious. Hey, Nana, thank you for joining. That's why I highly suggest. Oh, there's another one right here. There's another one right here. See how big he is? They're so massive. They come here to sleep. That's hilarious to me. Like, what's going through their minds? Like, yeah, I'm just going to come to the harbor under the boats. I don't know, maybe because under the boats is shaded. So maybe they like the shade. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, 2 nurse sharks. When we went snorkeling in Razdu, I don't think I'll ever forget that feeling. We were out in the ocean and it was deep blue. Well, not deep blue, but a lighter shade of blue. And when I jumped into that water off the boat, like when I was in the boat and I looked down into the water, I didn't really see much. It just looked like just water, like no fishes, nothing like that. When I jumped into that water, my friends, and I tell you, I literally felt like I was plunged into a tropical fish tank. I have never experienced anything like that in my life. So many different types of fishes. There must have been about 1,000 different types of fishes right before my eyes. All different sizes, all different shapes. It was so incredible. We filmed it on GoPro, of course. So it was just like, wow, wow, wow. Look at the speedboat. Look how many engines this speedboat has. This thing's fly. You want coffee? Yes, babe. Could you please get me the coffee with the coconut milk? My wife is already at Ayala, which is the hotel that I just walked you guys into and showed you the dining. That's where we usually eat. They have really good food there and really good breakfast. And I'm going to have the mashuni. And could you please tell them to make it spicy for me? Thank you. So, for those of you who don't know, mashuni is like a local breakfast here for the Maldivians. It's a Maldivian breakfast. It's made out of finely grated coconut, like really, really, really grated fine. They add tuna in it and they add red onion into it and they use lime juice. So good. And they eat it with roshi, which is kind of like a flour tortilla. That's the best way I could describe it. But it's so good. Tuna here in the Maldives is king. Tuna is like their number one fish here. They eat tuna for everything. And the tuna is amazing. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at two stingrays. Two stingrays, guys. Three of them. They're dancing together. Oh my gosh. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see the stingrays? It's right in the middle of the boat to the left. Wait, they just went under. They're right there. They're gonna come back up. Oh, they went way under. I see it flipping. There's three stingrays right there. Let's see if they pop back up. They're usually here in this harbor. They go back and forth in the harbor, but they're massive. They just went under. Okay, now they're coming back up. They're coming back up. I see one. I see two. Look at them. Oh my gosh. Do you guys see them? Let me know if you see it. Look at them. Ah, they're so pretty. It's like they're playing with each other because they're going in circles. Hello, how are you? Bye. The kids are amazing. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys, yeah, you do see them. Yeah. But they're a little bit on the deeper end. But sometimes they do come up shallow and they're just in the water here. They're definitely going in circles. All three of them are circling each other in like a tight formation. So pretty. And it's breakfast time, my friends. I've been up with you guys for the past 2 hours, 3 hours. This live stream has now been 3 hours. Now my wife is awake, and I don't know if she's dressed, ready to get work done. I don't suspect she does because normally she just gets dressed, puts something on, no makeup, nothing, and she just comes out for breakfast. Then we go back upstairs and start getting prepared for the day to, do what we need to do. Right now the time is 9:21 a.m. here. These people see me come in here every single day. They must be like, damn, this guy. Morning. Morning, how are you? How are you? Tall glass of orange juice. Oh, I so need this. I'm parched from all the talking.
That's why.
All right, guys, let me turn.
Do you want your iced coffee?
Yes.
Because I texted you several times, you never
I didn't see it yet because the screen was really washed out. All right, guys, I'm going to turn the camera. All right, give me 1 second here. Oops. All right, let me expose for me. It's a little bright there. Let me settings, camera. Changing the camera here on front camera. Yep.
Would you like cold water as well?
Yes, cold water would be amazing. Let me just turn the camera here differently on YouTube. If you don't know, guys, again, I am streaming live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and then here on TikTok, all at the same time.
Um,
I'm so sweating.
tap the screen somewhere.
So if I tap out there, we get black.
Uh-huh.
You see?
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I can't really expose for that. I have to expose for us, so I have to tap us.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. Shit.
It's all to you.
Yeah, I need this. I need this. Been doing a lot of talking with you guys. Good morning. Sandra's here.
Oh, good morning, sir.
So Irina doesn't have her mic going because, as you can see, she's on her laptop. She's already getting work done. Later, yes. So later today we are leaving this island. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At what time? About 4:20.
What? Sweetie, I'm sorry. I'm focusing on this. What are you saying?
No, we're leaving this island at 4:20 to Mafushi,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then one night in Mafushi,
Yes.
then fully do.
Yes.
Yes.
I haven't even booked fully do.
Yeah, she said I haven't even booked fully do yet. Irene is still tired. No, she's just now she's on the computer. When she's there, she's like laser focused. So she's getting work done. That's the way we usually do it. Again, it is a lot of work, guys. It really is. But again, we enjoy what it is that we do. We enjoy uh, giving this information to you, passing information along. So they said you're wonderful.
Thank you.
You gotta just turn the camera a little bit. I am starving. You? No. I'm not even gonna ask her another question because she's deep in work right now. Thank you so much, Brenda. Greatly appreciate it. So this is freshly squeezed orange juice, by the way.
No, it's not. I don't think so.
It is. There's pulp in there and stuff. Really?
I'm sorry. I can't think of this.
She said, "I'm sorry, I can't think of this right now." So I'm gonna show you what the masuni looks like when it comes. But again, if you want your continental breakfast, they have that as well. Oh no, she's awake. She's awake. She's pounding away at that keyboard. She's laser focused right now. There are times that when she gets like that, like I can't disturb her. I can't ask her anything. She doesn't hear what I'm like. Right now, I'm talking. She doesn't even hear what I'm saying. She's like, but again, when we talk about many of you guys ask like, how can we afford to travel? What is it that we do? But when you own your own business, what you put in is what you get out. So you have to be on top of your game all the time. There is no days off. There's no days off. You're working at midnight. You're working at 1, 2 in the morning on your business. There is no clocking in and clocking out. You're always clocked. Are you getting that coconut thing? Yes, I am. I'm going to show you. It's called mashuni, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you how to eat it because there's like a way to eat it as well. And it was funny because uh, when we were here the last time, oh, my iced coffee's coming. Do you also have what is it called? Syrup? Oh, you're ready. Perfect. Thank you. Look at this. Iced coffee. Iced coffee. Yeah, it looks dark.
You want
I like it. No, I like it. So this is made with coconut milk. Perfect. Thank you. Perfect. So one thing, if you guys are lactose intolerant and you can't do cow milk, some places in the Maldives, some restaurants, coffee shops will have almond milk or oat milk. Not all of them. So what we have seen people do who are lactose intolerant, when they find a store, a grocery store on the island where they can buy a package of almond milk or oat milk, they will buy it and they keep it in their bags with them. So when they're going from restaurant to restaurant, if they don't have almond milk or oat milk, they'll just take it out of their bag, order their coffee, and pour it in. So again, that's for people who are again lactose intolerant, because it's not a common thing to find oat milk or almond milk. Some places do have it.